So I'm live, but I'm by myself because everyone else is on my other live. So can you tell everyone else that I had to start a new one? And I should be going strong at the moment.
Okay, well, let me call you back on my other phone because this is the one that I'm
And you're
on.
okay, cool. You're being recorded, by the way.
Okay, great.
Thank you. Well, I'll go ahead and play my intro since we've had technical difficulties. I'm so sorry, everybody. Sorry. Man, somebody doesn't want me talking tonight. I'm telling you. I'm gonna go ahead and play my little intro and then we'll get this party started. Hey, Miss Kim. I'm so glad you guys are so patient. I was talking thinking you guys were hearing me the whole time. Thank you so much. Now this is down. Hold on. Let me just get this thing together here. Volume up. Okay.
Yeah. It's Goddess Dawn in a chariot. Where she at? There she is. Use your third eye, then look up high. Sun is rising. No more good night. It's time to take flight. Don't be uptight. Like and subscribe. Comment something nice. It's love in this light. High vibration. Here's Goddess Dawn. Get information.
Welcome, or welcome back. I'm Goddess Dawn. It is Saturday, October 19th, 2019, and I'm live, and hopefully you can hear me now. This YouTube is a mess, I'm telling you. Yes, I went through like 5 pages of notes thinking everybody was on board and listening. So I'm just kind of trying to get it all back together, get my organization together. How's everybody doing tonight? It's Saturday night. You should be feeling right on this Saturday night. I'm waiting on Nia Marie to phone in. FYI. She's ready to strangle me because I done put her through the mess and then acting like the P-Hive and blaming her. Hey, pretty Ricky. Oh my God, man. Man, it's all your fault. You're keeping me busy in on Twitter or whatever. Speaking of Twitter, I appreciate everybody who is on and following and retweeting and sharing their comments and all that stuff. We need the fight is hardcore on Twitter. So if you guys are on Twitter, be sure to follow us. Follow me. I'm Goddess Dawn, the number 3 at Twitter, on Twitter, excuse me. And hey, Jody. Jody, well, I'm glad you're here now. I had a little technical difficulty. We would have missed 30 minutes, but now we're just getting started, actually. Mocha Duchess, we tore the P-Hive down. They are going to have to cry themselves to sleep. You guys are so bad. And then here's Nia all up in Hollywood Next's chat, as well as Diva, getting me called out because y'all are playing around. Where's Deshawn? Did he make it? Okay, you're here. Okay, cool. True Seeker, did you make it back over? I'm waiting on True Seeker, and Pretty Ricky's here. Keep R. Kelly Down is in the house. What's happening, girl? Okay, cool, Deshawn. Nia, where you at, girl? Where you at? Okay, so listen. I'm so glad you made it. Keep R. Kelly Down on Twitter, holding it down for the masses. Here's Nia. Goddess Dawn Live, what you got to say for yourself?
Hello?
Hello?
Hello, would you like to change your cell phone provider service?
Why? Are you want to get hung up on? That's what you're trying to do.
I don't.
Okay. All right.
Let's get it.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. Okay, so I'm using Streamlabs, and I'm going to say do not use it if you're trying to look for a software for for your YouTube streaming because it gives me problems every time. So don't use Streamlabs at all. I'm just going to say that.
Got it.
Yeah. Like, share, and subscribe. Yeah. Okay, so we're here. We're live. It's Saturday night, and I'm here because I'm tired of hearing all the bullshit, all the lies that are coming out of these people's mouths. And I'm here with some facts, with some actual like documentation from the courts and things of that nature. So,
I'm sorry, are they coming out of their mouths or their asses?
well, I think their asses and their mouths are pretty much the same thing at this point.
Pretty close.
Pretty close. Yeah. Yeah. So,
Word.
all right.
Mocha agrees.
So, my sissy injustice Diva, is Diva over? Did she make it over to this one? I don't see her.
I think I thought I did.
Did you need to stay over?
Yeah.
Is the other one done? Okay.
I announced it over the other one. I don't know if it's done though.
You got to announce it again probably. Okay, so
She said
okay. So my sissy injustice Diva, the divine light, she's going to be hopefully still calling in. And then we got my brother Deshawn Johnson on mods, and he's supposed to be calling in also. And he's one of my trusty mods, my brother in truth. And speaking of truth, I want to give a shout out to Team Truth, headed up by concerned father, Mr. Angelo Clary. I do support him in his fight for his daughter, as well as other young girls and women who have been victimized and abused. And you can go to his website and donate, get a Team Truth t-shirt. Follow him on IG. He's on Team Truth at Team Truth 1000. And his partner, Larry, he goes by Team Truth 2.0. Now, Larry, he's also on YouTube as Grown Man Show. I want to make that clear so you guys can make a note. I'm going to put it in the description also. We got to build the community, you guys. So you got to follow the other truthers out there so that, we can make sure that, hey, Donna, we got to make sure that the truth is the narrative that is strongest and loudest, because these trials are pending and the jury hasn't been selected yet. And we want to make sure that people know the facts and not the foolishness, because that's really all I see when it comes to the P-Hive, as we call them. A lot of craziness happening on that side, and it's really all just a lot of mass confusion. So, but again, I was speaking on Grown Man Show YouTube. It's Grown Man Show, and he speaks a lot of facts and info. And speaking, like I said, speaking of important info, I have some facts here, so we can get to the facts of the matter. And I think I should play something that I have recorded to just set up why I'm doing this. Because I heard some things, I was on the opposition's videos, hearing some of these lies that they're spreading here. You're texting her.
Yeah.
So if this doesn't play, I'm gonna have to hang up on you and call you back. But let me try it, because I have some audio I want to play of why I feel like I need to come and bring the facts from the court. What it do, Dwayne? Yeah, we got a spy on a Mocha so we can see what's happening. You right about that. Mocha is, she be giving me some info too. I appreciate all of you guys who do too.
Well, and it's so funny. It's not even real. I wouldn't even call it spying. It's just like glancing over. It's like, oh, hey, you're saying that bullshit still? Okay.
Exactly.
There we go. Boom. Here's my rebuttals that I've been saying for the past 6 months.
Right. Okay, so I'm going to play this. And like I said, Nia, if it doesn't play, I'm just going to have to hit you back real quick. So I'm going to try to play this. This is Dana J on Hollywood Next. So, she recorded him without his knowledge. She actually told him that she wasn't recording him. So I don't know how that works. However, he said some interesting things. I wouldn't say that these things he said were Diva says she's here. I wouldn't say that that the information is like gonna turn the case over. There's nothing there that has anything to do to me. I mean, there's just more evidence that he's guilty, and as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
But let's see if this plays. It's kind of low. Yeah, let me try it without you on, Nia. I'm gonna call you right back.
Rude.
Sorry. Blame Streamlabs, okay? Okay, let me see if this plays like it's supposed to play. Hold on.
So are you gonna listen? Yeah, I'm gonna listen. I'm gonna connect with that. Lisa and Tiffany had a booth. Lisa and Sophie had a booth. Lisa and Drea, Drea had a booth. Now keep that up. Lisa and Drea had a function. Here's Tiffany and Paul. Let's talk next year. You're showing what the other in the situation.
Well, you probably didn't hear that. It was a little fuzzy. But basically, what Dana was saying was that Rashana was never in the situation. And that's actually a quote. So, which is a lie. So, that's why I'm here. And we're going to get into why that's a lie. So, let me call Nia back real quick. I'm sorry, Nia. Wait, which number did you even call me from? You need to call me back, Nia, because I don't know which phone you want me to call. Nia's out here like, I don't even know what. She got like 20 phones. Diva, what's happening, honey? Why are you asking me if everything's okay? Okay. Nia, give me a call back. All right, so as I was saying, I'm going to get into some of the facts. And what Dana just said about Rashana not being involved is a lie. Hold on. Sorry, Nia. I think my phone is on Dandy. There we go. Turn me down, girl. Okay, so I don't know if the audio was audible, like I said, but basically, I'm sure you guys probably heard it anyway. So he was just saying how Rashana didn't have nothing to do with it. He blamed Demetrius Smith actually for a lot of the things that R. Kelly is being blamed for, such as Tia Hawkins. And he said Demetrius brought her around, and it's his fault that Rob is being blamed for her because Demetrius was the one that was taking her down, is what he said. Yeah, disgusting. But yeah, like I said, all these things are lies. This victim testified to a grand jury, and I'm talking about Rashana, as did her parents. I'll read the documents, but you know what? Shout out to Hollywood Next though for being a real one. She might be misguided with her support for Sylvester and wanting him to be freed because she's buying into that whole narrative of him being kidnapped and his rights being taken away and all that stuff, which is bullshit. But you know what? I have to admire the way she stands on her own and she doesn't let anyone bully or push her into their storyline, and she does not allow these people to suck her into their cult, shall I say. She's in his cult. She's in Sylvester's cult, but she's not necessarily in the P-Hive's cult. I don't know. So Diva, okay, Nia, check this out. So you know how I had to start a new stream because I wasn't sure what was going on before I got on the phone, which I'm on now. Okay, so Diva is in that chat, the one that that I did after the fact.
She was in the second
Yeah.
chat.
Yeah. The wrong chat. There we go. Okay, she's here. Perfect. Okay, so that means that I need to end this thing. That is so funny. All right. Let me get rid of this because that's crazy. Okay, so where were we at? Okay, so we're basically just talking about all the P-Hive bullshit, right?
And I just wanted to say really quickly, I think what Dana J does is I think he says whatever is best for him in whatever situation he is in at that moment. So if he wants to make him, and whatever makes him seem the best or the most knowledgeable for whatever it is. So if he wants to impress Kevin Terrell, then he'll say, man, no, Deshawn is not even testifying. She was cooperating. That can mean anything. So that's what he said at that moment because he wanted to get himself out of that conflict. But then if he wants to stick it to Darlene Adams or whatever her name is, then he wants to say this other thing. So that's why you can never trust him because he's just going to say whatever benefits him for that moment.
Right. I think you're talking about Darlene April, that lady from the fan club that sued Geronda Pace, which we will be talking about also.
That has filed paperwork to sue, I think, has not successfully sued, because I think that's what the P-Hive is saying, that she sued.
Well, yeah, anybody can file a lawsuit.
Paperwork.
Any idiot can file a lawsuit, okay?
Right.
Doesn't mean it's going to stand. The judge is going to look at the lawsuit and he's going to decide whether or not it's something that's going to stand up or not. So I don't know that has happened.
I seriously doubt it will.
So like I was saying, Hollywood Next, I appreciate her straight no chaser personality and her fearlessness when it comes to her tactics.
Mm-hmm. She doesn't get rattled.
It does.
Let me tell you, some of those videos that another YouTuber is putting out, where her face is all big in the screen, and she's huffing and puffing,
Bullfrog,
and blowing your house down, and her neck is, and name calling and all this. That's enough to kind of, maybe like, kind of push back a little bit. But not Hollywood Next. She's going to do another video and tell you how much she don't give a damn,
How was
I respect her.
that bullfrog is not scaring anybody. I'm sorry. She's just blowing a bunch of hot breath. That's all she's doing is blowing hot breath and lying and saying that the Me Too movement tried to recruit her, which is a lie. A bird with hands or feet. What's happening? Yes, a bullfrog. You guys know who I'm talking about. Or Nia. Let me actually say you guys know who Nia is talking about because Nia is the one who brought her up. I did not bring her up. This is Nia's nemesis, by the way, you guys.
Yes.
She and Hot Breath. We call her Hot Breath. She and Nia go back and forth and they have a history. So just know. You know who we're talking about. Keep R. Kelly down. Sorry for the confusion. I'm glad you made it over here. Nia gets everybody together, and that's why I don't understand how you and Diva and Deshawn are in Hollywood Nexus chat, getting just all comfortable.
We like her.
I get it, but she's not. Her cause is misdirected, and by you guys kikiing with her like that, I just feel like you giving her false confidence in what she's doing. Hey Ty.
Like my enemy's friend is my enemy's enemy is my friend. She was going in on Hot Breath. I was like, ha 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 ha. I was like, get her.
Keep R. Kelly down is yeah. I said that she tried to say that the Me Too movement had tried to recruit her. Why would they do that? Because first of all, we don't even know if you're actually female. So. Yeah. We can't say that they did that because I'm sure they're probably still scratching their heads on that. But with that being said, I played a little fuzzy audio of Dana J on Hollywood Nexus quote unquote secret recording of him. And he's stating wrongly that Rashawna Landfair, who is victim one in the Illinois, I believe it's the Illinois case or is it the New York case? Whichever the case may be, she is minor one and she is referred to several times in the transcripts, in the motions, and she's a legit victim So for him to say that she's not involved is a bold ass lie for somebody to tell. Somebody who knows that people are listening to him and people are watching him. And this is why we have to debunk him. Okay. This guy,
Amen.
you know, I understand that he thinks he knows a lot because his eyes see a lot because they're on the sides of his head and they move around independently as if they can see everything that's going on around him. But that's really not the case. All you need is that 1/3 eye. He don't have that. It's all closed up.
I see what you did there.
All I'm saying is he's a mess.
I liked it.
He's a mess. So the argument, okay, hold on. Let me get my paperwork together because somehow, okay,
Can I address this hot breath?
go.
Okay, let me jump in here. As far as the Me Too movement or anyone, Mute R. Kelly, anyone recruiting hot breath for any task that does not involve heavy lifting is ridiculous. What she thought, so someone on Twitter said, instead of fighting with us, what was it? In any case, she twisted or misunderstood the word with. She thought it meant alongside. Come with me. Goddess, come with me. No. They were using with as in against. Goddess, don't fight with me. She
Okay.
decided, they tried to recruit me because they wanted me to fight with them, alongside them. Oh, dummy. You're fighting against.
You know
So
what?
no one was recruiting her for anything.
Nia,
Other than shut the fuck up.
Nia, you gotta stop. You gotta stop picking on these people. These people are not mentally capable of the thoughts that they need to have about this situation. Keep R. Kelly down is saying they keep saying when Kels gets out, he's gonna drop another album. That's all they want is the music. That's why they mad. They just want more music. They want more music. They think that they can't have no kids because the music stopped or whatever the case.
I did hear that theory once. I heard them say that they had to take R. Kelly down because minority population is outnumbering white population. And R. Kelly is baby making music. R. Kelly's music is. So they got to get him out of here. Because we are just cranking out these little black babies like the business.
Oh my God.
And it's all coming from this R. Kelly music. Now, isn't that the weirdest, most reaching, jumpy, mental gymnastics logic you've ever heard?
You put logic in there? Jody Cox. Jody said, I had to go back in the chat because I want to see what y'all talking about. But Jody's like, one of her last videos that SS did this week sounded like she started touching herself when she started talking about R. Kelly, when she started talking about Kelly. I thought you guys were exaggerating when you said these ones wanted him. No, I'm telling you, they are definitely, I don't even know if brainwashed is the word. It's the hypnotized. You know, I always say hypnotized, and they walk around like these zombies, these like R. Kelly zombies. They got stuck on ignition. I don't know how this happened, but they need to snap out of it. I'm going to read right now. So this particular, I want to get started with this because even though it's kind of jumping ahead of the transcript. So this is the government's response when the defendant, when he motioned to reconsider the bail. So, when the feds arrested him on July 11th, he wasn't allowed to go home. They kept him jailed. He's still there. And they've been trying, I think, 3 times now to have that bail reconsidered. So this is in response to the initial or to one of the bond reconsideration motions. Okay. So it says the defendant's attempts to discount the fact that a missing video evidences an obstruction by suggesting that additional videos would have been immaterial to the outcome of his previous trial. This is absurd. Of course, there is a difference between a jury seeing one tape showing one instance of sexual abuse, and the jury seeing 4 tapes depicting 4 instances of sexual abuse of the same girl. Additionally, defendant points to the fact that minor 1, and that's Roshana, and her parents previously denied that she was depicted in video 1. As alleged in the indictment, however, those false denials, okay, this is the prosecutor talking to the judge. Those false denials were induced by the defendant's threats, coercion, and payments. And in any event, both minor 1 and her parents are now cooperating with law enforcement, and each person acknowledges both that defendant sexually abused minor 1 and that defendant pressured the witnesses to deny the fact to law enforcement. Okay, is that clear, or do I need to deconstruct that into a different lingo for people to understand? Because I know that people don't like to hear legal talk. It kind of turns people off. But
I mean, that was pretty clear, and that's about 9th grade language. I mean, that's it.
Exactly.
That is it.
That's what I'm saying. I think it's obvious to me. Her parents have testified to the grand jury that 2002 grand jury testimony, if that's even what she did, or 2008, sorry, or not even testimony, but the fact that she denied it was her parents denied it was her. I talked about how her father sat in the judge's chambers and cried watching that tape and shaking his head no, that was not his daughter, knowing that was his daughter. And he watched our Robert Sylvester Kelly, just work his daughter over. Okay, Mocha says it's clear. The P-Hive just don't get it. You're right. I don't think they even have ever heard this stuff. I feel like they refuse to listen to the facts. Because I've heard them say the tape is fake. I've heard that a lot. Like, they don't even want to hear about the tape or tapes because there's more than one.
They don't want to do that. They don't want to watch the Lifetime docu-lies. They don't want to, acknowledge that. And also, they'll say that he was acquitted. Like, that was then.
Right.
We're talking about now.
Exactly. And we're going to address that here, too, because I have the prosecution's response to that, actually. Let me clear this out the way. There's a lot going on here. So what are you guys talking about here? She took a picture. So Jody's being harassed, it looks like. Jody's doing her job. Out here fighting the good fight. Diva said I have to deconstruct for the idiots in the back row. Okay, so basically what this document states is that the minor in question, which is not in question, but they are not saying her name, but it's Roshana Landfair, who was the victim in the initial tape from 2002 indictment, and her parents, who previously denied that it was her in the video, have now stepped up, whether because they're fearful of being charged themselves or not. They have stepped up to say that they have lied in the past. They lied about the fact that it wasn't her and that it was because Robert Sylvester Kelly coerced them into doing so. They've testified to that. They're going to continue to testify to that. And that's what it is. Ty Cook, someone asked me why do all these why even go to the supporter channels? I don't get it. Yeah, I hear you, Ty. It's entertaining for me. I mean, people usually send me stuff like, did you see this? Did you see that? But I do like to hear what they're saying, though, because I don't like the fact that they click up and they try to spin that same story, and it's usually a lie. And I'm here to cut all that out, okay?
And on top of that, an outright lie is one thing because you can kind of go against that. Like, no, it wasn't 2015, it was 2013. But the overall dishonesty and the overall, just idea of you're not being loyal to your culture or you don't care about those girls because So that is kind of the idea that you're fighting against. Just their low vibrating, their gutter nonsense. I think that's kind of what we're battling.
You know, and I don't, no
and
one...
You can't turn away. That's for me. I can't turn away from it.
Well, no one can tell you what your motives are behind anything. They're just saying that because they can't understand it or they don't want to. So to fight something that no one, it's like fighting a baby. I mean, it's ridiculous. It's something that is a waste of, for me, it is a waste of time and energy. Like, you're not going to see me in any of those people's chats. You might see some people I know in those people's chats, but you're not going to see me in those people's chats. And I don't even mean you guys. I mean, you know, other people, but which I won't name. However, I just feel that it's important that we understand the gravity of the situation. This man has done a lot of damage over the years. He needs to continue being jailed because he cannot come out and continue doing what he's been doing. Because if he is given the opportunity, he will continue to do that until the day he dies. And, you know, I want to address the fact that I'm looking at something Jody put, which actually is something I thought about. And she said that Jody looks to be white from your picture. She says they're trying to make her look like she's a racist. And I guess because she doesn't support R. Kelly, they're saying she's not a racist. And I want to say that we've always had white allies, people. And, you know, I just want to say that it's just, this situation here is about the monster Sylvester himself and the things that he is being accused of. And it has nothing to do with black or white, except for the fact that most of his victims were young black girls. And that was because that's what he targeted, because typically he can get away with more with dealing with these type of victims.
And I think that's the important point there. That's who he targeted. That's who he had access to, and that is who he was going to be able to pay off. That is who would be less likely to go to the police.
Exactly.
And as a culture, we need to acknowledge that and be angry about that. I'm angry about that. And I feel like if anything could come of this, that if we were to try to pull out some positive, it would be that now we need to start having these discussions. Now what has been exposed is that we still have these antiquated ideas in our culture that the man not is always right, but just we have a patriarchal kind of society that if a girl is quote-unquote fast, she knew what she was doing, and she deserves it. No, that's not how that rolls. No, we're not doing that. We don't do that.
So so now I'm in the transcript, and this transcript is following the federal arrest on July 11th. And this is the hearing, the arraignment hearing, where he pled not guilty. See, I'm talking, I'm wishful speaking here. He pled not guilty, but they argued because obviously his defense wanted him to be freed from custody. And the prosecution had to lay their case as to why he shouldn't be free, why he should be detained, and they requested a permanent detention, and it was granted. So that is why the fact that this guy keeps coming back with these reconsideration motions is ridiculous. It's a permanent detention until trial is over, until the outcome of the trial. So, you know, at this point, he's locked up with no sight of being released. Okay, so we're going to deal with that whole double jeopardy stuff because it's here in the documents. The prosecution addressed all of that. Okay, so at the beginning of the hearing, of course, everyone's present. The prosecution, the defense, the judge, the clerk, and they address each other, and they allow the prosecution to begin with her argument as to why he should be detained. And she goes into how he's an extreme danger to the community, especially to minor girls. He poses a serious risk of obstruction of justice in his current case, which also makes him a danger to the community, and also that he poses a serious risk of flight now that he's facing more serious charges with mandatory prison time. And so with that, she goes into more detail, and she goes into what he's charged with, which is incredibly serious crimes involving the sexual abuse of young teen girls, as we know. She goes into how he targeted middle school and 7th and 8th grade girls. And it's not just a once or twice thing. It was a regular thing for him. And I've seen people argue in comments how, oh, he was just visiting his music teacher. Oh, he was just nostalgic, he just wanted to hang out because he missed school. Well, first of all, that music teacher, she needs to be in question also, because from what I understand, she was allowing him to pluck girls out of her music class for to appease him or to go with him. She knew what was going on, in my opinion. Yeah, exactly, Diva. Diva said he was hunting, and I agree, exactly. And that music teacher was like his first madam, in my opinion, from what I can tell. She was just letting it happen. Like, she should have seen that something was not right and put a stop to it. Told him to stay his ass away from that school. Period.
I mean, when I was in school, they didn't let grown people just come up in there.
Well, he was hanging out outside, I believe, in like his car, his truck or whatever, sitting out there waiting, because they knew, the kids knew he was coming. So they would go out there, giggling, rolling up their little skirts or whatever. And I'm not saying these girls are quote unquote fast and all that, but they're children. They don't know any better. They don't know the dangers that lie ahead or the situation they're getting themselves into. They're just curious. He's, this guy was coming up at the time, and had come up since and was still doing that stuff. He was, of course, he was hood famous before he was famous. So it was easy for him to get away with that stuff. People were just doing anything for him. And this is the human side that I don't get, which is when people do anything for money, for fame, for, any type of attention. Like, they just throw away their morals, if they even had any in the first place. And they do things that they should be ashamed of admitting. That's just my opinion.
Well, and Diva brings up, and I've heard that the P-Hive people say this, that she was helping him, and the teacher was. And I said before, but that doesn't really make any sense. If he was a star and all that kind of thing, or he had means, wouldn't he have just had her come to his studio or to his place? Because that's a lot of effort. Teachers are very busy during the day or even right after school. Don't have some grown-ass dude coming in there between, lessons and all that kind of thing to interrupt their day. They're busy. They got shit to do.
First of all, okay, where's Deshawn? So Silver, who said that he was having relations with Lena, who was the music teacher? I don't remember anyone saying that. Did anybody say that? Okay, well, I don't know what that was about, but we're not saying that Lena was the actual person. We're saying that she was the gatekeeper. She was the person in between the girls and him. She was in a position to stop him or keep him from recruiting, hunting, or whatever you want to call it, plucking those girls out of her class. He typically would go for girls with musical aspirations. Of course, the music class is where you're going to go. And he already had a relationship with that teacher. So it was easy for him. So, Jody. Well, Jody said nobody said it. No, Jody, that's not the case. Lena was kind of old, wasn't she? I don't know. He was weird. So who knows what he was doing? She might have been sucking his dick. Who knows? All I'm saying is, that's not the point of it. Was that there were young girls, impressionable, some of them even talented. They were in that class, because they were honing a skill, or maybe they weren't. Maybe they just enjoyed the class. But nevertheless, no one should be subjected to some pervert coming up to the school, which a school he didn't even graduate from. And from what I understand, he didn't graduate from high school, did he? He didn't have no business up there, whether it was outside on the curb side in his car or whatever whatever the case. He didn't have any business doing that. Okay, I'm looking at the chat. Jody's like, that's not what I said.
I'm laughing at the real world. It's like, how Dana got a baby by Rashana? No.
Okay, well, that's a whole other thing. I don't know if it's true. That means she might have been high and drunk when they was getting it in. I don't know, during one of them group things they was doing. So
5 months pregnant. Like, what?
Silver's asking, where were the principal? Where were the others? They just looked away. Well, why do you need all those people when you have an adult such as the music teacher and him who were direct contact, and she knows she's seeing everything? If the buck stopped with her, I'm sorry, the buck stopped with him. Okay, first of all, but clearly he's sick in the head, and he has no impulse control whatsoever, and no moral compass, and he has just no soul. Soulless, right? Isn't that the name of Jim's book?
Soulless. You said that?
I did.
You said soulless?
I sure did.
Okay. I was going to
Check.
say it again, but you already said it.
Check and check. So, with that being said, let me get back to this transcript real quick. So, the prosecutor goes on to say the defendant is charged with incredibly serious crimes involving the sexual abuse of young teen girls. Some as young as being in middle school, which we're talking about now. It says, and that's just 2 of the victims between the Illinois State Court charges and the case in the Eastern District of New York and the case right here in the Northern District of Illinois. There are 12 unique victims identified in those cases, and the vast majority of them are minors. 12 unique victims identified in those cases, a majority of them minors, okay? So we're not just talking about the Geronda Pace. We're not just talking about Lisa Van Allen. We're not even just talking about Rashana Landfair. So can we get off of all of them? Because I feel like people who support R. Kelly want to continue to keep that narrative going that Geronda Pace, she was wrong. And we can even talk about, I guess, that lawsuit in a second. And Diva, be on standby. I'm going to call you. But I want to say that, what was my point? Okay, let me just go on here. It says that, and that's just the tip of the iceberg. Our investigation has identified many more girls who were sexually abused by the defendant. And our investigation is far from over. Okay, and this was filed on August 1st. It says the investigation is far from over, although the transcript is from July 16th. Right after he was arrested this last time. So they're still investigating and looking into things and vetting information and people. It says the evidence against the defendant is overwhelming. It includes hard evidence, direct evidence in the form of 3 videos showing this man, Robert Kelly, sexually abusing a young girl who was only 14 years old at the time. These videos are extremely disturbing to watch, and they show the defendant's sadomasochistic abuse of a 14-year-old girl. These videos also show the defendant in has a particular sexual interest in young girls because he repeatedly tells the girl to refer to her body parts as being only 14. And we've heard this in the media. See, some of this stuff came out in the media, only pieces of it. So I have the full transcript, and I'm trying to enlighten on some of the things that we may not have heard of before. All right, what's going on here? Hold on. Okay. Sorry about that. Are you there, Nia?
I'm here.
You're my sounding board. If I don't hear you, I feel like something's wrong there. Okay.
I'm bracing myself for what you're reading. It's incredibly hard.
I know. So there's a lot in here, but I made just some highlights because some of this stuff is important to point out. It says, and there is no question that it is the defendant on these videos. Because I've heard also stories about it's not him, they're fake videos. I heard Dana J say that he named a bunch of people. Demetrius Smith, he named a couple other people that I had never heard of, but still he's blaming others and saying that it's not R. Kelly in the videos, it's somebody else. So they're saying the prosecution is telling the judge that is no question that it is the defendant on these videos. There are extreme close-ups of the defendant's face on these videos. 2 of the videos are filmed in very distinctive rooms at his former home. And the victim in all 3 of these videos, she herself, has testified under oath that it was Robert Kelly in all 3 videos sexually abusing her when she was 14 years old. There are at least 5 witnesses who will corroborate that victim. Okay? There are 5 witnesses that will corroborate Rashana's story about being coerced to lie and the fact that it was her in that initial video. Period. The end. Here it is, black and white. Okay? And this is public information. So it's not like, this is some secret stuff that nobody is ever going to hear again. This is real life truth about this case, or these cases, shall I say.
I find it interesting that the receipt man, Dana J, hasn't been talking about this shit.
Oh, he talked about it, but he said that it wasn't her, that she's not involved, and that it's not her, and that she's not cooperating, which is a lie.
Where's his receipt? Well, I guess he's lying about it.
So they go on to talk about, the prosecution goes on to talk about the tapes, and this argument that she's going on with the judge is for both the Illinois and the New York cases or indictments. And she goes on to say that what sets the case apart from so many others and what makes the defendant even more of a danger to the community is the defendant's extensive history of obstruction of justice, the threats, the intimidation, the witness tampering, the hush money payments. And she goes on to say that it's all outlined in count 5 of the indictment. They've included all of this stuff in the current indictments. I feel like I'm talking to people who don't speak English. Not you guys, of course. I'm talking about the people who just refuse to listen or acknowledge the truth or the facts. So I'm just gonna find my other. I just wanted to go through like the main stuff. So this is kind of the setup to bring up the coercion in the first case in 2008. So she goes on to say, now I expect the defense will argue that the defendant should be released because this conduct is old. And that's Greenberg's favorite thing to say. Oh, those are old charges. Okay. So she says that they're old and date back to the 90s. Okay. She says, first, that's factually just not true. Okay. This is the prosecutor in Illinois for the federal prosecution. And she's saying, first, factually, that's not true. Count 5 of the indictment, the conspiracy to obstruct justice. The count alleges conduct right up to the present day. And the New York indictment includes conduct in 2015 against a minor and in 2018 against an adult victim. So it's just wrong to say that these cases deal only with old conduct. And then she goes on to say, but second, and perhaps more importantly, so what? And this is why I like her, because she's like, so fucking what? It's old, but it's still relevant, okay? So she goes on to say, there's no statute of limitations for producing child pornography and enticing a minor to engage in sexual activity. If the defendant was sexually attracted to middle school girls and to 8th grade girls in 1999, then he's still attracted to middle school girls and 8th grade girls right now in the present. He sexually assaulted those girls hundreds of times.
Right. That's not something you grow out of.
That's what she says. She goes on to say being sexually attracted to young girls is not something you can just turn off and on like a light switch. It hasn't just magically gone away. It's who the defendant is. It's what he's been doing for most of his adult life. And that, Your Honor, makes him a danger to today. So then, she goes on. She's killing all the defense's opposition or their arguments. And she goes on to say that the defendant's team has also argued that these new federal charges in Illinois and New York are just for the same conduct that the defendant was acquitted for in 2008. Again, not true. Okay? Again, not true. There are 13 counts in the Illinois indictment and 5 counts in the New York indictment. That's 18 total counts. Only one of those 18 total counts is the same as the state court trial in 2008. That means that the defendant is facing 17 new criminal counts that he has never faced before. So I don't want to hear any more double jeopardy. This is old. That's out the window. So now, I know I do need to post them on. Oh, you telling Mocha to post something on Twitter. I'm like, I do need to post this on Twitter. Okay, so
Still do.
it goes on to say that she's going to talk about the one count that does overlap. She says, and what about that one count that does overlap with the old state case? That's count 1 of the Illinois indictment. The United States Department of Justice is very deliberately charged count 1 of the indictment, even though the defendant was acquitted of state charges based on the same conduct. And that's because the defendant obstructed justice and he ensured that the state trial was not a fair trial. He threatened and intimidated minor one's family and other witnesses. He provided hush money payments, and he manipulated and controlled minor victims into lying about their abuse. Okay, that's it. That's it. They have proof of these things. They have the witnesses, the girls. It says, charging this conduct in the Illinois indictment sends a message that no one is above the law, not even a famous musician with lots of money and power. So then they go on to talk about the whole flight risk thing and talk about, why, even though the defense is saying he's not a flight risk, because he showed up to all of his court hearings in the past. They're saying the stakes have significantly changed since then. He's now, for the very first time, facing a mandatory minimum of 10 years imprisonment and a maximum of up to 195 on the Illinois indictment alone. I think in total he's facing like 500 years, like with everything combined. But it's saying that on top of that, New York has possible sentence up to 80 years, and that changes everything. So they're basically saying that he's not in the same position as he was back then. He doesn't have the same clout, money, influence. He doesn't have, and of course, things are different now too. Technology has advanced a lot. The laws have changed. We have the Me Too movement. We got Time's Up on his ass. And these things have played an important part in allowing victims to come forward in a safe place and knowing that they're supported, having the resources necessary in order to fight these people. It takes a lot of money to take something all the way when you're going against a big entity or person with means. So the fact that these movements are in place now, the fact that technology has advanced tremendously, the fact that we have women now in places of power, such as judgeships, lawyers, all kinds of necessary roles are being met now by women who can help other women who have been silenced in the past. I think that's what's very important to put out there. Because when I look at the P-Hive, for instance, and I'm listening to these clowns, Dana J, he can't help but call a girl a bitch or a woman a bitch, call them out their name. Kevin Terrell, too, calling all the women in Chicago grimy. I'm trying to think of the other men who are on there. They got that T. Stevens guy who had a video.
Notorious for it.
Yeah, he had a video recently saying, don't hate the player, hate the game. And he had the nerve to say, I didn't listen to a lot of it, but just what I heard, he was basically saying that men who don't support R. Kelly are jealous of him and hating on him.
Can I address that? Because I've heard that before. I've heard a lot of the men that support R. Kelly, or anyone that supports R. Kelly, say to men that don't support R. Kelly that they are jealous of him. And I don't think it's true. I don't think R. Kelly is anyone to be jealous of. R. Kelly is a child rapist. He's not that handsome. He's broke. He had a few hits in the 90s. He's nobody. And he doesn't look like Amari Hardwick or Michael B. Jordan. Done. Or Tyrese.
Tyrese, girl, no.
I do like him.
You still like him? I used to like him, but Okay, so
remember his Coca-Cola commercial back in like the day?
That's when I liked him, but now I don't. It's all good though. Okay. Did you get my text? I need you to see that.
Okay. I ignored it.
Okay. Did you see it?
What do you want to do with that? Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So I need you to kind of take over for 1 second. Can you handle it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. 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 So, yeah, Amari Hardwick. I don't know who watches Power, but I do. You know what I mean? But, so I'm a new Twitter user. Please follow me at Love Logic Hope. I'm pretty sure. I'm just going to double check that. You know, it lets everyone, whoever is on Twitter or knows any popular truth-based hashtags or Twitter handles, let's put them in the chat. And again, I wanted to mention Grown Man Show. Yep. Love, Logic, Hope. That is what I am.
Okay.
Yep, Grown Man Show. And again, Omari. Okay. Again, Michael B. Jordan. I like.
Are we still talking about these men? I think we need to. I think Nia needs. Are we looking for a date?
Yeah, send me that energy. But yeah.
So, like I said, the argument has been on the fact that this nigga's been kidnapped. Ain't nobody kidnapped his ass.
Oh, that is so ridiculous.
They're saying he's been mistreated as a U.S. citizen. His rights are violated. Sounds like karma to me. The Free R. Kelly hashtags represent a movement for a man who is legally jailed, pending 2 trials, maybe 3, maybe 4.
Mm-hmm.
There are still ongoing investigations in this matter. There's still evidence that has yet to be logged and filed. Maybe they're even still vetting information from certain witnesses and certain things that have come to them. And then the complaint about Kim Fox calling out for potential victims or whatever. And that's nothing new in the legal realm.
Nope.
It's not a new or unique thing. So for people to say, oh, she that was illegal, they need to sue her for that. Like, these people are crazy.
They are insane. She was soliciting victims. No. Have you ever seen Crime Stoppers? Have you ever seen a news reporter just say, if you have any information, call Crime Stoppers? Have you ever seen when the police are like, hey, if you have any information, please call us at the police department? It's very common. It happens all the time, every day. But since it's their, get me wet P Daddy, now they have a problem with their 55-year-old asses? No, calm down. My cousin, please.
My cousin. Okay, I will give it to Kevin Terrell with the impersonations. This dude had me dying when he was in that store wearing that vest. And then when he does Levi, oh my God, I die. I will admit to watching him for that particular reason. But his whole R. Kelly is innocent spiel is old and tired and and ridiculous. And I think that
Well,
he's confused also, and he just cares about the music. That's how I feel. Go ahead.
yeah. And I think he just puts it all on the quote-unquote women, which are actually 14-year-old girls. And if we could back up for a second, make no mistake, like, I feel that the only ones that we know about are the ones that have come forward and they've been able to validate their stories and include them into the indictment. But I think he's been all over the place pissing on little girls. I fully believe that. I believe there's girls everywhere that he's assaulted, and he's only being held accountable for the ones that they can prove if he's had interactions with.
Look, we talked about earlier how, I think there was there's an epidemic of missing girls. Is it just in Chicago or surrounding also? But I know
I'd
that.
have to look at the petition again, but definitely in the Chicago area. And I saw this petition on Twitter, which, shout out to Twitter and petitions. It was on change.org, which is kind of a side little comment. I saw a petition that is supporting R. Kelly that has been out there for 3 months, and it's just got around 500.
I saw you tweeted that. And that's probably all they got, 500. And I bet you some of those aren't even legit. So they can keep doing what they're doing, whatever, more power to them. Keep kicking up that dust in your camp, making yourselves look like stupid people and chickens with their heads cut off, going back and forth with each other about something that shouldn't even be argued in the first place, about some man's innocence who is not innocent. He's not innocent.
Not by a long shot.
And the fact that you won't even listen to actual facts, actual court documents, the real situation at hand says a lot. It says that you don't care. All you care about is his music and or his dick, his herpes infected dick. And all you care about is on the male side, the clout that you gain for being around him. I'm sure Dana, when he was around him, was using that whole line of, oh, you want to meet R. Kelly? I can let you meet R. Kelly, but you got to go through me first. That whole thing. I bet you he took that all the way to the bank as much as he could. And he's still doing that, even though the man is locked up. And I wouldn't say that he's the only one, but I'm just saying he's so obvious with it. And he is hurting in the face. Like, I guess he had to do what he had to do. But it's really sad that this man is an actual father. I think he even has a daughter, if not more than one daughter. And people like that are dangerous also to the community because the mindset that they have that can be contagious when you're raising children, So hopefully he's looking out for his daughters. Hopefully he's looking out for his daughters, is all I'm saying. Let's see. Mocha Duchess. Dana is definitely still using that line, Goddess. He does it. Sorry, I'm reading the chat. Mocha's saying Dana is definitely using that line, Goddess. He does it with Phases. Speaking of that, so Phases, the next level, I think it is. She had a live with let's see, Cash Jones. And that actually, let me get to what I was saying. We'll get into that. So like I said, there's still evidence that's probably still being vetted, being logged and filed, and there's still things coming down the pike. And I still believe there might be possible indictments coming down the pike for people who maybe are being a little stubborn about cooperating. Cash Jones, I'm bringing her up because she has been on the scene lately, just like Kevin Terrell and Hollywood Next, if you want to be honest, coming in, shaking up that P-Hive, bringing in drama. Let's see, what do I have on her? Oh, so like I said, they're probably still vetting evidence, and I'm going to include her book in that. Cash Jones is the author of a book called, I think it's called Daddy's Little Freak, if I'm not mistaken. It's not a secret. This book has been out for a couple years. I think it was copyrighted in 2016, and it was aligned with the release of the docuseries as far as all the PR around it. Now, this girl is supposedly a PR rep or person, professional. Cash Jones, Cash with the K. I initially had gotten her confused with Cash Howard, also Cash with the K. Cash Howard is R. Kelly's previous or former stylist. She is also accused of being an enabler. She is one of the women who was kind of the go-to for his girls, as you know, when they needed help with anything. I know that there were situations of abuse and issues with the girls, and they would run to Cash for somewhere to go or for her to help them. I think what she would do is take them shopping and make everything better for R. Kelly so they didn't run to the cops or whatever. So she's definitely somebody who's probably complicit in a lot of his shenanigans. She made a public statement when she talked to the feds. She actually striked my channel when I covered that, when I really was only covering what was already public. I didn't fight it because at the time I was a very brand new channel, a couple months old, and I didn't want to, I didn't know what was going to happen behind that, so I just left it alone. The strike goes away if after a certain amount of time. So with that being said, she definitely didn't want her name in nobody's mouth, and she's been pretty quiet. I haven't seen much of her or much said about her, meaning Cash Howard. So when Cash Jones came on the scene, this week or last, doing interviews, so Toxic Diamond interviewed her, and she's talking about Tim Savage and how Tim Savage did her dirty and how him and his wife are this and they're that and the other. Toxic Diamond had her agenda because she had also been done dirty by the Savages. Tim Savage and her had their beef back and forth. So I think more so for that, it was kind of just wanting to take the Savages down. I think they just wanted to both team up together to put them to rest as far as what was going on with Tim Savage. I really don't know. But with that being said, when she came on the scene, I noticed there was a lot of more drama. Don Russell came into the picture. Don Russell, who, okay, first he was supposedly his former manager, or Kelly's former manager. Now he's saying he was never his manager. I think it's clear that he's trying to disassociate himself from everything. And he's trying to say, well, that's what the media called me. I believe he presented himself as that. So, go ahead.
I think so too. I think I remember a video of him actually coming out of his mouth. But
exactly.
I could be wrong.
I think he did.
Because he just looked so very, like, he just was all unshaven and weird.
Mocha said as soon as Dana gets questioned by the feds, he's folding. He can't take the pressure. I kind of agree, but you know what? I think Dana's looking forward to being involved in this trial or these trials, because I swear I heard him in that secret recording with Hollywood Next say that he's expecting to be indicted. I swear he said that.
I thought that was when he supposedly knew he was being recorded, but was talking with Kevin Terrell. But I do remember him saying he expects to be indicted. I do remember that sentence. Yeah, I agree. Jody's saying the same. He wants to be in the spotlight.
I agree. Good or bad, he likes his name out there. It doesn't matter. He's that type of person. He likes any type of attention. And Grown Man Show. I think it's Larry. I'm not sure if you were here when we were talking about. I was actually reading from the court transcripts about Rashana and her family having testified to the grand jury about the fact that it was her in the initial video, about the fact that R. Kelly did coerce her to lie, as well as her parents, and they all have testified and they all are cooperating, and I have read it from the court documents, and hopefully it stays true. From what I understand, they are protected witnesses, but with these situations, I don't know, we don't know 100%. The white girl scammed when they found out the testimony from 2008 can be used in this case. Those girls, Jen and whatever, I think I know who you're talking about. Mocha said Dana's excited. He just wants his name to be in something until he's in jail playing that game. Oops, I dropped the soap. Oh, I could see that. You know what? I could see Dana behind bars, and he's probably, for some reason, he's able to schmooze and charm people. Not me, but I'm just saying, I can see like Phases, for instance. Phases the next level. Seems like she's so sympathetic towards him and caring towards him, motherly, maybe very maternal towards him. He's not that young. I think Hollywood Next, didn't she put out something that showed his being 41 years old?
I don't know,
Oh,
but that would be funny.
Daddy's little
I
secret.
like
That would
I
be.
gotta go check.
So yeah, so we're just going through facts versus what we hear from the other side, because they got a lot to say, and they don't care where they get it from. They just speak out of that, like you said, their asses. They just want to hear themselves talk. A lot of them just like the fact that they're getting attention from people who are subscribing to them and listening to them because they want to believe everything they're saying. They are spinning a narrative that these people want to buy into. So they're drinking the Kool-Aid, and they're going to die once that poison sets in. Because once that man gets convicted and he is not going to be coming out, there's going to be anarchy over there. Because,
Oh, absolutely.
yeah. And I don't, there's a lot of people who don't get named a lot. I've mentioned a couple. I posted a couple things on Twitter. There's a couple people who are very close to him who have had very hands-on dealings with his money, with his business, and these people have been with him for a long time. I haven't seen or heard their names come up in the legal aspect of things, but so that to me says that they are cooperating. The next narrative, the other narrative that the P-Hive is spinning is that the people around him were the one who stole from him, were the ones who were dealing with the girls and the women, and they're the ones to blame. And if that's the case, they're talking about the long timers, the people who've been around him a long time. And if that's the case, then I haven't seen anything with any other names yet. And all I'm saying is for it to take this long for an indictment, they're talking. They're working with them. They have to be. Let's see. So what do y'all are having a good time in the chat. Fuck what I'm talking about. Y'all are just like having a party. I'm gonna join y'all. Let me just kick back and
I think if that's the case, then R. Kelly needs to start talking. And but
I think that is the next thing is the plea deal. People are waiting because I've seen and heard this a lot that he is either going to take a plea or they're trying to pressure him to take a plea.
what I hope they don't even offer him one, not a good one. Plead to everything, tell everything for 20 years. And I don't want to hear shit about no 10 years. Sit your ass there for 20 years and spill the piss beans.
Right.
That's it. Or he can plead guilty or no contest if that's not one.
So Diva.
Either way.
Diva, you ready? Because girl, we need to talk about this lawsuit that they had fan club the fan club filed a lawsuit against Geronda Pace. I'm sure you guys have heard about this. Let me get Diva on the line, girl. Let me call. Thank you, Grown Man Show. Larry. Hello. Let me see if I can swap you in here. Y'all both on the line? Oh, wait. Nia's on hold. Hello.
Hello.
Okay, I got both of y'all on the line. Okay, y'all can't talk at the same time. Listen, you hear this? You hear this? You hear this bell? This bell means shut the fuck up.
That's right. Go ahead, baby. Talk.
All right. When you hear that bell, you gotta, because it's too many people. Okay, I don't want a whole bunch of confusion now.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Diva. Okay, so we got you on the line. Diva, the Divine Light on YouTube. Please subscribe if you haven't already to Miss Diva's YouTube. She's also on Twitter. I don't know your handle on Twitter, but
It's E Garcia 40.
E Garcia, the number 40. Okay.
Yes.
All right, so talk to us about this lawsuit. You did a video also breaking this down, so I figured you'd be a good source. So let's talk about this video from Diane. What is her name? Diane April? Darlene April.
Darlene April, aka Miss DJ Showers.
Okay, so what's her deal? She sued Geronda Pace, right? Or she filed a lawsuit.
She filed the lawsuit against Geronda Pace, claiming that she lost money due to Geronda Pace defaming his name and making false accusations against him.
And how credible is this filing? How credible?
But then she decides to, Dana J put out some receipts on her about how she was asking him, oh, well, if you have some flyers, you can give them to me and I'll hand them out. Like, what? If you're a businesswoman who's the CEO of the LLC fan club in Chicago, why are you asking Dana J for some damn flyers to hand out for free? That just makes no goddamn sense. She makes no sense. And then she's suing her for $1 million.
Oh.
She's claiming she lost $1 million in revenues due to canceled concerts and shows, and I guess her printing flyers and other bullshit, you know what I mean? So, because they said et cetera, et cetera. So I'm thinking it's all of that other stuff too.
So it was clear.
And I'm like, well, I hope that girl comes with receipts, because bendito, that shit, that's the judge is gonna look at her and laugh and throw that out of court.
Exactly.
And then she also said in the claim that she said that Geronda Pace, in other words, chased R. Kelly, lied about her age, watched child pornography, and lied about sexual abuse. So her whole claim against R. Kelly should be thrown out of court.
Okay.
Basically, that's what the whole thing is about.
Let me interject here. So she's suing someone for what they did as a minor. This girl was a minor. She's suing her for stopping her bag. Is that what we're saying? Is that really what's happening here?
This is what is going on. This is what's going on. You said it. You said it.
This is a victim of this case.
People in the back didn't listen. Like, y'all retarded. I'm sorry. You like, this is ridiculous. I don't understand how people don't see the fucking facts. There's facts. They have so many things against this man. It's ridiculous. That gun has been locked and loaded. He is done. Like they say in this charges now with the whole transcript you were reading.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 10 years. They want to give him 10 years. They're like, we'll let it go, but he's got to say that he admits this shit, take the 10 years, and then he got to deal with the rest of his shit. So, you know, it's up to him unless he wants to keep fighting to get that 195 years, because that's really what they want to give him.
He sounds like he's still in that arrogant stage where he feels like he's still the shit, he's running shit, and he is getting out, and he's gonna fuck up everybody who was against him. I already just see him there steaming, just like plotting on people. And I just feel like, you know, that's just really a shame that, you know, I understand he was traumatized himself and all that, abused, but he's 52 years old. And I can't even understand how somebody like him can sleep at night with all of the things that he's done, all of the things that he's done to people, especially these children. With Rashana, for instance, people don't understand how they, you know, some people even blame Sparkle, which I don't know that she was in the wrong for thinking, I'm going to bring her with me. I want to help her because she's talented. She was excited.
That's an excuse to what they're throwing.
Yeah, it was an
That's just an
excuse.
excuse.
But
That's
but
just an
but
excuse.
picture this though. You got this young girl, 12 years old. She's rapping. She has her own little group, which is a pretty common thing to have a little singing group or whatever. Me myself, I'm a dancer, so you know,
Me too, baby.
la 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 la. I can sing a little bit, but not like that. But back in the day when I was young, and I had a couple groups actually. So that's just what kids
Okay.
do. But
Yeah.
when you meet somebody who you feel could open a door, who's gonna, people have dreams out here. People want to
Yeah.
win. People want to live
Yeah.
large. They want to, provide for their families. Like people are living on TV. They want to, people want to come up. So when you see a R. Kelly and you have you sing and then your niece raps and then you're feeling like, oh man, this is about to happen for me. Let me bring in my niece because her family is poor. Her brother and the Sparkle's sister, which is Rashana's mom, right? And her
Like the
husband. These
balance.
people are not living large. These people are poor. A lot of these people he's victimized are in poverty. Any little
Yes.
thing he swings in front of them, they're gonna jump. Like that's just how, unfortunately, a lot of people are built.
Yes.
So, with that
That's
being
why the
said,
community is so mad. The community is so mad at the people that are saying he's guilty because they're like he's a hero, to them because he goes people's this, pays people that, gives this, gives that. That's how they say he gives back to the community. But for me, that ain't no giving back. You know what I'm saying? Do some real giving back. Build some new schools. Build some buildings, some housing. Create jobs. That's giving back to the community.
well, of course it is.
If you're just throwing your money around and using people,
He,
that's
you don't see nothing.
that's the Pied Piper.
What has he done for his city? What has he done for Chicago? Where is his name, um, plastered or emboldened anywhere on any college building or what has he done? Has he feed? Is he
Exactly.
feeding a lot of these poor people? He's taking their daughters. That's what he's doing. I know that's what he was doing, and that's why he can't. We need to make sure he stays where he's at because
Yes.
it's too much of a risk to say, you know what, maybe just maybe it wasn't him. We know it was, but I'm just saying some of the people who support him, for them to risk him being free because they're chanting free R. Kelly. And why do you want to free him so he can rape and molest and kidnap and be involved in all this other stuff? Because I personally believe he is involved in these bigger rings, these international rings that exist, which is why a lot of women, children, trans women, black mostly, but of color also mostly, but are missing, are dead, found dead. There's a lot of things happening out there in every city, but in Chicago specifically, Atlanta also, where he has footprints. And I do believe
Right.
he's not the only one. I do believe, like Epstein, for instance, Weinstein, all these people, they believe you me. There are definitely, where's Truth Seeker? Truth Seeker might have checked out on me at this point, but she knows. There's a lot of
Yeah, there's that new
darkness.
guy that we just heard about from South Carolina. What's his name? Jason Pope.
Oh,
Out there flaunting money, saying, "Oh, come and join me." Like he wasn't saying that per se, not verbatim. I'm just out there saying.
right.
He's like, "Oh, here you can win free tickets and win $1,000 to the first 10 ladies or some shit. Ladies, come here. Ladies, join me over here in this gala." And I noticed he had a lot of shit promoting with K. Michelle. What's up with her?
K. Michelle is trying to just stay afloat. She's like, look, I'm barely making it. I'm trying to make it. And I don't need this drama. She's like, I don't need no R. Kelly bullshit and none of my name. So let me just keep him cool. Because I'm going to tell you this. There's been other artists who have said, I've worked with his writers or I've worked with these people. There's who was it? Don Russell said himself, who, you know, I feel was in some type of a role, whether manager, handler of some sort.
Yeah, I
Wild.
believe he was a handler and a manager.
Exactly. So he even said that R. Kelly is not a man, he's a brand, he's a business. And there are people involved and behind this brand. And this situation is fucking it up for everybody. Period. The end.
Yeah.
I appreciate the
these
super
people that are
chats.
out here-
Whoever super chatted, thank you so much. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, it's okay. And these people out here who are chanting free R. Kelly, come on, man. Yeah, I don't understand. Like, you don't have children, you don't have morals, you don't have any type of sympathy, no empathy, no nothing. And it's ridiculous. It breaks my heart. Honestly speaking, Dawn, it breaks my heart to see that. And then them fighting amongst each other, that shit is crazy.
Yeah.
It makes me think about what the president is doing to our country.
Yeah.
He's doing our culture.
Yeah. Definitely setting the tone for a lot of the energy that's swirling around us in this nation. I feel like the the toxicity that he allows and he actually perpetuates with everything he does. Really, he goes against everything that we need, everything that's good. I feel things that I know Obama gets a bad rap for. He said a lot of things. Wait. Let me finish because I'm gonna forget, girl. When Obama was in office, people, I guess had a lot of high hopes about, specifically black people, people of color. But at the end of the day, people were complaining, oh, he didn't do nothing for us and this, that, and the other. Well, in his position, I would say that T. Stevens' video title, Don't Hate the Player, Hate the Game, goes directly to Obama. Don't hate the player, hate the game, because I'm going to say that the arena he's in as president, or the role, is not something you ain't going to go in there and just change everything overnight. If you say one thing, do one thing, you're not going to be seen anymore. Like, it's not going to just be some like fairy tale where you're going to go in there and you're going to defeat all of the enemies in one fell swoop. No. Right. You say one thing or tip somebody off to something, and you're going to come up missing, and then the news is going to say you had a heart attack while you were fucking your beautiful wife who's now a widow. So all I'm saying is he did what he needed to do, and I feel like it was good that he was there because we needed that hope. We needed that to see the vision of that so that we could have motivation. Our children could have motivation to say, I could someday do that, even though it's probably bullshit and probably won't. You do not have a chance of doing that. But all I'm saying is that what it takes sometimes is a perception. It's a perception that is what creates sometimes your external reality. When you believe something so much, it might not even be true, but you believe something so much, you will create that thing. This is how powerful the mind is, and the heart, the spirit. When all those things are connected, and then you're wishing on something and you believe, when you really believe in something, dude, like that is really what is creating what's in your reality. So with that being said, and that, it's funny because I was thinking about my meditations. And for those of you who don't know, I do have a playlist with my meditations there. Mindful breathing meditation. With that is manifestation and healing, quantum healing. So Hollywood Next. Hopefully the breathing meditation that you said worked and helped you sleep was one of mine. But I just want to put that out there to say that when this information gets in the wrong hands, because I know that there are people that don't have the right intention. There are people who are plotting bad and trying to get over and all that stuff. And they will try to use this tactic, I guess you could say, or this way to get what they want while doing wrong on people. Well, I want to just say this. Your intention is always what's leading the course. So if you're leading with bad intention, but you're using the resources of light and of good and positivity, that's not going to work. You're working against yourself. So all you're going to see at the end of that is trouble, for yourself. So I'm just saying that to say try it if you want to. But for all of us who are on the right path as far as wanting truth and justice to win and wanting the right things to win and the right people, and all of us are flawed for sure.
Right.
For sure,
Nobody's
we're
perfect.
all flawed.
That's
Nobody here is perfect. But when you're living to the point of where you're hurting people, you have parents out here with hearts that are broken because their communication has ceased with their children. I don't care how old they are. When you have a child, that is your child. And for someone to come in under false pretense or like say certain things to you, but at the end of the day, we're going behind your back, dealing with your child, like, and the things that he's doing and was doing, unspeakable things with your daughter.
And the girls, they're always victim shaming the girls. Oh, well, she shouldn't have been wearing that. Oh, well, she shouldn't have been sneaking out at night. Oh, well, she shouldn't have been. You know what? She was just being a kid. It's not her fault to say that she wanted to be curious. That's part of growing up. It's part of life. It's for you as the adult in the situation to say, no, this can't go on, or, oh no, I have this thought, but I can't be having this thought. You do not react on your impulse. Keep it to yourself. If that's how you feel, keep it to yourself. You're out here fucking molesting girls. For what? For your own sexual pleasure, because you want to be a predator, because you like younger girls than older girls.
And I don't even know if he wants to be a predator. I feel like he's driven by some psychological demon.
It's the whole abuse thing. It's the abuse thing. I feel bad for him that he was abused. I really do. I feel so bad for him.
And that's why he should have walked into a hospital or a doctor or someone and said, I need help. Something is not right.
Some people offered him help in this camp. And he was like, nah, I don't need no help. You crazy. What you talking about? Like, he was in complete denial.
I'm going to just keep toting these tapes around and threatening them with these tapes. If I record them, they won't say nothing because they don't want nobody to know that they eat my shit, drinking my piss.
Right.
I'm going to embarrass them to the point where they will never tell anybody. I'm going to do the worst things to them so they won't ever speak a word of it. No one's going to tell because I didn't tell until I wrote my book. Which, by the way, his book, from what I understand, is like dry crackers, boring as fuck. And then you got bloggers reading that thing. Okay, yes, maybe that's just me. I love to read, but
I'm going to read it, because a lot of people want to read it and they don't, they can't. So I'm like, I want to start a kind of like a book club and read certain books, and get requests from people, But I want to try to read a lot of the books that were where the people dealt with R. Kelly, a lot of the accusers and stuff and people that were around them, and to give insight, and hopefully you guys will be able to donate to the channel, and I could buy these books, and I could start reading with y'all so we can start getting into it.
That's right.
Diva. A lot of them have truths that needed to be told to the world. So awareness. A lot of these women, these P-Hives, are out here ridiculing these girls who came out on the Lifetime and all this and that, and they wrote books. Yes, to bring awareness and to give themselves healing.
Absolutely.
Yes, they got bags. Yes, they get money. But you know what? They deserve that. For all the shit they motherfucking...
Exactly. That's the other... Yeah, exactly. That's the other thing I think should be addressed too, is that people want to get mad. Oh, they're selling a book or they're doing this, they're doing that. Well, why shouldn't they? I don't see anything wrong with that, to be honest with you. Like, that's the least you could let me do is live a little off of this bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Like, so what?
Those settlements did because they were young and they said, fuck it. Don't nobody have to know and I get to get money off of him? Freak it. I'll just live my life that way and try to bury it in the back of my head. You know what I'm saying?
Wait a minute. Grown man, Larry, for real? Okay, so I'm looking in the chat. He's like, hey, Michelle slept with them kids too. That's a really heavy statement right there.
I'm telling you, grown man, that's why I said something funny about her. Because she even was like, she was really cool with that guy Jason Polk too. If she wasn't involved, she had to have witnessed, seen something.
Wow.
Come on, man.
I never even thought about
You know,
that, but
a
I
lot
guess
of
that
people
would
that be
be a
sitting in the
reason.
background be seeing shit and don't be saying nothing.
Yeah.
But you pay them more for that.
That would be a reason to speak up, to try to divert the conversation, or try to, cover it up, for sure. I didn't think about that. I wouldn't even, but you know what? He did that, and he did that for that reason with women.
Yeah.
Included them, like, I had a sound bite, being that I'm now using my phones to record, which was not planned. Sorry guys, I'm sorry. But I did have audio of Dana. You guys probably heard Hollywood Next. She got those recordings of Dana, Jay.
Yeah, and I never got to hear the rest of it either, yo.
Right.
Like, it's just too much shit.
Well, you know what? I had taken certain sound bites. Maybe I'll just have to put them in an actual video. But I took certain sound bites because certain things came out in that, and I think I had mentioned that from what I heard, maybe I'm wrong, but I thought I heard him say that he's expecting himself to be indicted. And he also denounced the fact that Rashana was going to testify and that she was cooperating, when in actuality she has already testified with the grand jury, like I said, and her parents have as well.
That's right.
Right. So, and again, I've
And also,
lost my thought.
I think that the whole thing with I also think that with Dana J and the whole thing with the Rashana Landfair and that other chick that might be his baby mama, I think he was part of those little trains and get-togethers and all of that when R. Kelly would throw groups, where they would have group sex and throw one of the girls and have a train. Because there was that documentary from the BBC, sex videotapes and whatever?
Yeah.
That documentary, there was a piece in there where one of the engineers worked with R. Kelly, and he was talking about how he had girls in the studio just standing around facing the wall, butt naked, and then having dudes just touch on them, giving them head, and stuff like that.
Running trains.
Like,
I saw that. I heard. Yeah, I heard that. I heard that.
What?
Yep. Well, you know what?
Dana J was part of those trains.
Oh, I'm pretty sure he probably organized them. That's why he's trying to organize everything now. The rally.
He's a recruiter, man.
He's the event coordinator, apparently. He is the.
Yeah, he's a recruiter.
He is the top clown of the circus, is what I want to say. So I told Deshawn I was gonna let him call in too, Diva. So we're gonna have to release your line.
Yes, baby. Yes, that's me, Deshawn. What's up, brother?
So I don't know. We might have to have you help mod. Are we good on the mod part, Nia? Or Nia, are you still there?
I got it. All right, sister.
Well, thank you, Diva. Thank you for your help. We'll talk soon.
Yes, Mama. Bye.
Bye. Love ya. Okay. Okay, Deshawn, are you ready? So.
I knew you didn't tell me to shut the up.
You?
Yes.
I'm just testing it. I'm testing it.
You're testing what? To shut the up?
Okay. Now, Kay McNeil, legally blind people appreciate the book clubs where you're reading the stories for them. Oh, we're talking about book clubs. You know what? Diva, you should definitely do that. If, definitely read the books. I don't know if his book is the one to start with. I think that book, I don't know. Nia's in the chat. 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 Hey.
I am pouting.
Okay. So, Deshawn, I think I have to call him. I'm about to call you, Deshawn. Are you going to answer, or do you want to call me? You tell me something before I don't want to call you and you're not ready. Okay, he's like he's ready.
He said, let's see.
Okay. All right, Nia, you could take it while I handle this part of the business.
Alrighty. So, guys, make sure we follow Diva on her Twitter. And it is, so Diva, let's put your
Oops. Wait. Hello.
Love, Logic, Hope.
Nia's still
Also,
talking, sorry.
remember to subscribe to Grown Man Show, his channel. Amazing. Still waiting for Diva.
Okay, so we got Deshawn on the line. Deshawn.
Oh, okay.
Okay, you're gonna have to speak up a little bit. Can you guys hear
Got a
Deshawn?
deep voice. It sounds like I imagine Omari Hardwick sounds
Oh.
in his real voice.
Oh shit.
Wow.
So Deshawn, hang on one second, because somebody just typed something that I wanted to. I don't think I got to, and it was about Cash Howard's book. Cash Jones's book, because they're talking about her. I had brought her up to say that her book. She said that she met with the feds. They knocked on her door, and she dealt with them. And she said it took her a minute to get through. That she was, first of all, not Cash Howard, the former stylist, and also that book was not firsthand for her, and that it was, she kept saying it was fake, which authors typically will say fiction. I'm an author, I say fiction. I don't usually hear people saying my book is fake. I don't know what PR person, period, speaks like she does. Like, she sounds like she needs an exorcism.
Yep.
So her book,
Hey, baby, you should find her number. We could call her tonight.
she wouldn't answer though.
Just,
I think she's very particular about who she speaks with. I've seen a couple of videos with a lot of back and forth with her about who is it. I think even Kevin Terrell tried to reach out to her, or DJ Tyson tried to reach out to her, and she was like, who? And if she knows anything about me, she probably would not want to speak to me, because the questions that I have for her, she barely wanted to answer when she was on, I think it was a phase, the next level. She asked her, when did she actually meet him and how? And she was like, And see, that to me says something's up. Like, something's up. What the hell? Why can't you just say? Like, and then I think finally it came out she's only known him since maybe the docuseries, or right after, maybe, or right before. And she apologized to him for the book. Let me just go back about the book. I think it's Daddy's Little Freak. Is that right? Can anybody confirm that? Okay. And that it is typically, a lot of it is mimicking what we saw in the docuseries about the, the shit eating, the piss drinking, the sexual escapades. Very, very graphic from what I saw in the reviews. People, a lot of people liked it. A lot of people didn't like it. I mean, I guess it's just not for everybody, but it, to me, was questionable as to how this book could be copyrighted in 2016, mimicking the information in the docuseries that came out this past January. And I was reminded that they were filming around that time, the time that of the copyright, and that this person, Cash Jones, a PR person, she said, was on the scene and talking to a lot of the people as well as the producers. So she got that information while they were filming the docuseries. She put it in the book and wanted to make a buck from it, and she did. She aligned it with the release of the docuseries as far as the PR for the book. A lot of people read it, fascinated, and she put it out as an anonymous author. And she just came out, I think last year, and said that it was her. But she said that she had to apologize to R. Kelly because she did eventually meet him. Supposedly she did not know him when she put this book out. Clearly she talked to some of these girls though. And she got that information firsthand from these girls, because that information is same stuff that's in the docuseries, but in a more of a fictional novel way. Right? So with that being said, she, to me, knows a lot. She knows a lot. So for her to say that the feds came knocking, she convinced them that she's not Cash Howard, as well as the fact that that book is fake, as she says. I don't know that they're just let that go. Just like she said when she apologized to Sylvester about writing the book and putting him out there, making him look guilty. she apologized, and he was like, "It's okay, baby girl. We all make mistakes." And she said, he just let it go. And I'm like, girl, I don't know.
I see someone says free R. Kelly.
What was that?
I see someone says free R. Kelly. I'm about to.
Oh, get on your job. Diva, I need to make you a mod, I think. I think we need to make Diva a mod. So
I mean, I'm taking care of it.
Oh. Nia's on the job.
I got it.
Okay.
So you're saying Cash Jones and Cash Howard are two different people.
Yes.
Both named Cash with a K.
Right.
A mama's named Annette.
I don't know that. I know that there is an abandoned trademark there's an abandoned trademark for Cash Jones. She went and filed the trademark for her name, but then never followed through on it. So to me, that says either that's not her actual name, or that she knew that something was going to be coming up, and she needed to protect herself, or to make sure that she had control over the name. But she didn't follow through. So I only bring this up to say, because I was very confused when she came onto the scene like a week or two ago. And she's been on a couple of platforms since then, since the initial Toxic Diamond interview. And I feel like she is trying to protect herself. She even said out of her own mouth that she feels safer speaking publicly than not. And she also told Toxic prior to that interview that she was being chased off the road by quote unquote R. Kelly goons. But then later came back and said, oh, you know what? Never mind. I realize that they're actually R. Kelly supporters that are after me. And I'm like, what? That makes no sense. It makes no sense. But R.
Kelly, victim supporters that did it. So who did she think did it?
No, I think she was saying the actual P-Hive were behind it, because they were upset about the fact that she was coming out saying stuff, and they were, I guess, fearful that she's going to get him in more trouble. I don't know. Mocha saying, is Cash the one recording the video of the girls crying in the car? Okay, Mocha Duchess. I'm glad you brought that up. Yes, so there is a video, and it is in a video that I have published also, and I just don't know the title of it. Mind you, and I'm going to take this opportunity to say that I have now, maybe this might be my 103rd video. I passed my 100th video a couple of videos ago, so pat on my own back to myself for starting this channel in January. And now here I am, and I have a whole family here. I love you guys. But yeah, so the girls, so there was a recording and it went viral. It was Cash Howard, the former stylist, driving the car, right? And then Hallie Calhoun was in the car, as well as V. That's her nickname, VEE. And she was the one that was crying in the car. And they had someone on speakerphone, which later it said it was a media person. I initially had thought maybe it was an attorney or somebody of significance. But apparently, it was somebody in the media. So they were telling this person about the abuse and the coercion and the different things that were happening with these girls, specifically V. Now, okay, V's situation, I'm going to say this is a rumor because Tasha K put this out there. It's been put out there. V supposedly has a 6-year-old, or had a 6-year-old niece who R. Kelly took a liking to. Sylvester, we'll call him, took a liking to. He requested that she do some things with that 6-year-old niece for him online on video. Like, he wasn't there, it sounded like to me, for at least one of those escapades. She then did go ahead and do whatever it is he was coaching her or telling her to do, and doing it for him over, I'm not sure if it was Skype or, something. 6 years old. And there possibly could have been contact with him also at a different time. But I just know that what I heard was them speaking of a video thing that she had done on his behalf or request, which, and this is, the girl is crying and out of her mind now, realizing what she's done and understanding, just not, I don't understand how you could even do so, how could you even entertain it mentally, let alone go through with it. But this is what he did. This is the type of nigga I'm dealing with here. Some sick shit.
I have to say on that one, I would hold the woman responsible.
Yes, Mocha, the Tasha K video where she's exposing the enablers. Exactly. You said you would hold the, what'd you say, Nia?
The adults, definitely R. Kelly, but also
V.
the accuser of the
Right. And see, we haven't heard her come up in any of the legal documents or any of the indictments. So what would that say to me? And like I said before, is that she's probably cooperating with them behind the scenes. Which is great because, he has to pay the piper. Period. So Deshawn, let us know what's on your mind, boo. What's up, brother?
Everything with R. Kelly is crazy, man. I mean, he did do that stuff, so how you gonna crazy? Everyone thinks he did do it, but it's true. He did do that stuff.
Well, yeah, I agree.
Because I've been knowing this since I was in 6th grade when he paid someone to knife her.
Wait, what was that?
How you gonna,
You were in 6th grade and what?
I was in 6th grade. I was in 6th grade when this stuff happened.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm.
So, how are you going to be accused? How are you going to pay someone to knife for you? That's not right. And you talking about all the parents sexual nah, no parents can be sexual you set yourself up.
Absolutely. He set himself up. He did this to himself. And that's the thing. It's like that's what everybody wants to do is blame other people. Now, it's the people who are around him. It was before, now, it's the lawyers. It's the, the defense fund, that whole thing. It's always something, but never him.
Right. Remember that. Here's the thing. Remember that thing I seen you about him and Alina? About those who's getting married?
Mm-hmm.
You're talking about, that's not proof that this is a marriage certificate. That's not a marriage.
You know what? It doesn't matter what they say about Aaliyah and R. Kelly's marriage certificate, because first of all, it was definitely something. It was obviously it was fraudulent because she was faking her age. She wasn't old enough. And okay, I gotta plug in my phone, y'all, because this live will cut the heck off if this phone dies. Let me plug in that other phone. Hopefully it's charging. If I cut off y'all, then it was good talking to y'all tonight. Okay. But regarding Aaliyah, first of all, that marriage, they got married. We know they did. They got married. That was published back then, and they got the marriage annulled, which legally means it never happened. So for her, and people want to argue that she interviewed and she said, no, we weren't. It never happened, because legally she could say that it was annulled. So it didn't happen as far as the courts are concerned, the church or whoever didn't happen. So, but it did happen. Okay. And it also, he happened to her. And, honestly, her, age ain't nothing but a number was like my favorite. And just thinking about the lyrics now, and then the lyrics and some of the other songs also, I can't listen. There's no way I can entertain knowing that what he was doing and his motives and who he was really talking to. So that's why I don't understand how people can still support his music.
I want to point some things out while I'm listening. I told Sister War about this. I kept seeing Nick and Knight then posting the same video of how Sister War is doing. Talking about, she gets some green button to prove that what Angelo Clary did. Look, Angelo Clary didn't do nothing to you. He just wanted to make sure that you're not supporting R. Kelly. No one don't want to support that man.
Exactly.
For instance, if I have a daughter, if she asks me, can she see R. Kelly? I say no. That means he hurt people. He hurt people's dreams.
He's a dream stealer. That's what he is, a dream stealer. He's a thief.
Look at how dry humans is what it is. They out in the street talking about, oh, our parents didn't do it, our parents didn't this behind this stuff. No. Your parents are trying to save you to find this man. And I'm saying this. I'm a godfather. I got a goddaughter, she's 2 years old. I got another cousin. I support my cousins of their dreams. But seeing Israel and Johnson, I'm like, yo, hold on, why y'all blame our parents? Our kids is making y'all say whatever y'all want. Y'all basically not on our parents. Now come on. If I blame my parents, I'll blame my parents. But I don't care if y'all grown, I don't care how old y'all are, but in the future, you know you're doing something that is not right. I can't punish y'all, or he can use you to senior jail. No. You got Greenberg. He's talking about, oh, there's no proof that the carries in the service and me. Okay, there is proof. Angelo Clary said to last night that he was in the interview. And he said he didn't okay because there was someone else involved with it.
Yeah. Well, he thought he could trust people, and that's the thing. Yeah, that's the thing is that when you feel like you can trust people, the music industry is a really dirty game. It's a very disgusting cesspool of an industry, and I'm saying that firsthand. You all know, most of y'all, some of y'all know that my son does music. I manage him. We've been doing this for a minute, and even before that, I've known people, been around and in things since for a long time. So I know the disgustingness, deaths, overdoses, all kinds of things. I've known people who are not here anymore because of that industry, and I do blame the industry. And we're talking that whole the pedophilia ring that we were talking about a little while ago. The industry is rife with that. Look at, and R. Kelly is a representative. He's a head. He's like the president of the pedophilia committee in the music industry.
But look who supporting the new R. Kelly. You got Common, you got Neo, you got Chance the Rapper, and then guys, you got anyone who doesn't want to work with R. Kelly. And people think, what would R. Kelly do if y'all get him out? Explain that. What would that man do? What he would do for Chicago? What he would do for New York? He would hurt y'all kids? Come on, man. This is Team Truth. I want people to say Team Truth and let it not jet right now. Because I want to say this right now.
Team Truth.
Good.
Shout out to Team Truth. I saw some people shouting out Mr. Clary. I don't know if is still hanging out. Shout out to you if you are listening. Definitely riding with Team Truth and riding with the parents. I don't care what you think about the parents or what has happened and transpired in and between all of these things, at least that what we're aware of. Because mind you, we, the public, came into this after all this stuff had already been happening. These parents had already been dealing with this monster. Like I said before, imagine your daughter or even son. Because I don't take, what am I thinking? I wouldn't put it past him to be doing this to young boys also. So your child goes missing. You think they're going to school. You think, they're going to the studio or whatever it is they're supposed to be doing. And you find out later, months later, they've been with this nigga. They've been going home with him, having sex with him, being, a part of a cult. And it's too late. They don't want nothing to do with you. He's already fed them lies. He's already fed them fantasy. He's already done the things he knows how to do because he's been grooming people for years, decades. Rashana is the first that we know of, or Aaliyah, I'm sorry, is probably the first that we know of. But there's many more. Tia Hawkins, shout out to Tia Hawkins, victim Tia Hawkins, who was one of the first on record to have, gone to the league, to the authorities about him back in the 90s, I believe. I'm here about to call in. Okay, Angelo, you want to call in? Well, you need to call in now because this thing is the wheels are finna fall off of this thing. So Deshawn, if you don't mind, if you could continue modding, I appreciate you calling in. Do you have anything to say before we go?
All I'm going to say is do not listen to Dr. Fake, because that man's video is so fake. When you said about Ezra, that was a foul call.
Who are we talking about?
Dr. Fake.
Dr. Fake. Oh, are we? I don't think we're even saying doctor. Are you talking about rice, chicken fried rice?
No, rice-a-roni.
Neither knows who I'm talking about here.
Okay.
Don't listen to
We're not even bringing him up.
the court case up, like Greenberg is.
All right, Deshawn. Well, we'll see you in the chat, and I'll be talking to you also offline. But thank you for giving us your commentary. I appreciate you. Love you, bro.
Thank you for having me on your show.
Of course.
Bye.
All right, bro. Peace. I'm like waiting for the line to drop.
Oh, I was going to say, am I getting off?
No. Okay, looks like we're all clear. All right, so if you want to call in, Mr. Clary, you can. You have the number, dude. We were texting last night or the night before. Okay, let me. You don't forgot. You must have been sipping on something tonight. What did who say? He's laughing. You have the number. You should have locked me in by now. You could put me in as GD just to keep it short. God is dawn. So, wow. I hope we've accomplished at least debunking some of the bullshit that Dana J and all the rest have put out there. Even Hollywood Next, as much as, you know, I appreciate her candidness, is that her candor? I think that's the term.
Yes.
Her viewpoint and her cause to me is misdirected. So I just feel like we need to. Okay, we got Mr. Clary coming in.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, I can either only end or hold you. Oh, hold on. Okay, let me merge. And Mr. Clary, is that you?
Hey, how's everybody doing?
Everybody's doing great. How are
The
you?
weekend is treating everybody okay. I am really, really good. You know, I'm good right now. You know, I'm just sitting here listening to y'all, and I want to tell everybody I appreciate y'all with major support. I appreciate y'all for really spreading the word on Team Truth. I just need y'all to really, really start spreading what Team Truth means so more people can come in and DM me and leave comments and to for their story to come to life, because this is major. And I'm telling y'all, I really, really appreciate intelligent people. And on this platform, I see that y'all are really just not against R. Kelly, but y'all stand for the truth. And people have that misconception of what we stand for.
Yeah.
They don't understand. They think it's anybody saying truth. We hate R. Kelly. We don't hate R. Kelly.
Right.
We hate the things that he done and he allowed himself to do to other women and whoever else allegedly he's supposed to have done it to, boys and all that. Yeah, we have women, kids, boys, and girls.
Exactly.
You know, and they trying to make this thing out about, you know, whatever way they need to flip it is fine. What I'm gonna tell y'all, and y'all can stamp this, they can't put out nothing. They can't change no narrative. They can sit on here all day long on their platforms, say all the crap they want to make up, talk amongst each other. Y'all look at their followers, they the same followers. They don't gain, they don't lose, they just go from one channel, flip the words, go to the other one. He flipped the words, go to the other one.
Mm-hmm.
These grown men that have nothing, and when I tell you nothing to do with this guy, this situation, They can sit there and say they fighting all the way. It is a few that's fighting from the heart for their guy. And why, I don't know, but everybody has somebody that loves them. So that's what I'm going to take it as. My stated fact is they have to wake up and understand they have nothing to do with this, but yet they're in the middle of it.
Right.
Half of them is not from Chicago. Half of them never been around this guy. Half of them never had a conversation. Nothing. But they in the fight. But they want everybody to believe that everything is about money. No, it's about money because that's what y'all get. I don't even go on none of them platforms, and they got Angelo in their mouth more than anything that they probably speak to their girl more than they speak to their women that's beside them. They saying Angelo. Top of the morning, end of the morning. It's not me. Only thing you're doing is selling views. And it's fine. I don't care nothing about it. But when we break it down over here, what I respect, artists, and what I watch you on the low, and I'm like, wow, you know, and I listen. Me, I'm a comment guy. I look at comment.
Mm-hmm.
I hear the speaking, but I watch comment. That's my thing. So what I want to tell you is you have a solid fan base that I want y'all to understand that this woman came in. She said after she seen your documentary of my daughter, and that was the reason she started her channel in January.
Yes.
And I had major respect for her for that. But this is what I'm trying to tell y'all. My daughter, and I'm telling y'all from me, and we ain't going to go into it. My daughter good.
Okay.
She gets in a real bad situation that I'm just trying to get her out of.
Okay.
My daughter got me inside of her. My children, my son, all of them. And we clash. Make no mistake, this ain't going to be a reunion. It's going to be a reunion. But it's going to be fussing, fighting, crying, and everything together when it comes. Because we all just alike. They got me in them.
Mm-hmm.
We stern people. We believe what we believe. And if we fight, we are taught to stand beside whatever we believe in and fight for. And my daughter going to fight for this man. She going to fight for him. And I had to come to reality with that to say, you know what? She believes she in love. And she going to fight for him. So now let me just try to bring the truth out of it, because I know what we stand for. And when somebody lies to you and hurts you and continue to lie to you, he's going to have a monster on his hand when that truth start peeling like an orange in court. That young lady going to have a switch in her head that's going to click up. And when it click up, it's going to be filled with rage. But it won't be for everything that he put in her. It's going to be strictly to him. It's going to be the same rage that each one of his children clicked in their head when they realized that he's a liar.
Mm-hmm.
That he been lying on mine. He been lying about that situation. It's him. It ain't nobody else. Nobody keeping him from us. Think of lies that this man have instilled to the world. And you got all these people on the other side that run around and facilitate the lie. But I promise you this. One thing you spoke on that was fact. And that's these people. These people don't care enough about what we saying on here. They got enough what they have investigated, and what they going for is more. So all these dummies that keep putting out and adding different people in and saying different things, think about this. They know them people not finished. They know why they drug out his court case till next year.
Mm-hmm.
They usually don't let you sit that long. They don't let you sit that long. They try to get your case in and out. Because most of the time you're sitting in a state facility. And being as though you're under federal custody, that's a problem. Something happens to you, that's a big lawsuit. They try to get you in and out. 6 months tops, you in and out. All that mess with everybody want to believe and this and that, it's bogus. What they need to do is really come over here to our channel, Grown Man Show, Goddess, and a few other ones that sit here and tell the truth. Tasha K, a few other ones that's out there that stand firm and tell the truth. Since day one, she gets it right here and there.
Yeah.
That's my girl. She'll call me up and hit a nail, and she'll always, run things by me, and I respect that.
Mm-hmm.
Because she got to still get our grind on. But this is what I'm telling y'all. They got to come over here and ask questions over here to get truth. Because they can run that cipher around their stuff all they want. This is what I'm still trying to figure out. What do they think they're going to prove or be able to provide to anybody that's going to change or free him? They keep saying, go to the feds, go free him, or go to the Greenberg. Do you think Greenberg office ain't probably filled with phone calls, letters, and lies? You know what that man probably did? Don't take none of their calls. Because he already know they full of crap. He didn't say anything to get him out. He already looked like a clown, so he damn sure don't want to look like a circus in there. And that's what they doing. They have nothing. You talk about the dude, I think somebody said Dr. Wright said something about me. That dude never, I know as long as he's been commenting, he never spoke my name. Just tell you the level of understanding these dummies got. He really don't want to start even playing with my name, because I'm not Dana, and I'm a different breed, and all that less they talk is just ludicrous to me. Like, don't add in the fire to try to get your views up.
Right.
Talk about what you've been talking about. Don't add, as you never said my name. Never. Now all of a sudden, you rocking my name to say this and say that. Y'all nothing to me. Because this is the difference.
He wants to get you on his platform. That's what it is.
That I won't get on none of these platforms. Because this is why, right? They talk too much fabricated stuff for me to get on their platform. As bad as I be wanting to kind of curb things, it's no use for us to waste our time to curb anything for them, because they gonna believe what they want. They not looking for the truth. They looking for one word that they could bend to try to make it look like you said something different. Guess what? If I say everything different, it's not going to release him. I get on a platform and say, I knew R. Kelly since me and him went to school together, which that's impossible to be the truth. But they will run with it. I knew it. Oh, this and that. They're not even going to look at, I'm born and raised in Baltimore. They wouldn't even see that. They wouldn't see that until somebody stopped them from making a fool of themselves. And then say, do you never even been in Chicago? Went to schools or nothing? And then they'll be, because this is how desperate they are. Our team, I'm telling the truth. Like I'm telling you, if you speak the truth, you don't have to worry about changing it. Because it's a lie that you got to keep up with. The truth, you can sleep up, fall asleep, wake up out your sleep with nothing but the truth. A lie you got to think about.
Yes.
We ain't telling lies away. We telling the truth. So what I would tell y'all is, y'all are definitely hitting on things, man, that matter. And everything that you hit is our absolutely fact.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the thing that makes people more intrigued and being involved with your platform. These are things that need to be talked about. Like, let's get to the basics and the facts of it, and let's break down what's the light and what's the pros and cons of the situation, and what's his goods and what's his bad. If he got night, they say you put something on a scale and one is weighing heavier than the other, you can't do nothing but look at it as fact. And everything with him is created by him. We ain't gonna make this man illiterate. We're not going to make this man dumb. We're going to also make this man stand for what he allowed to do. Now, I'm not going to say that some people didn't trick him. Some people didn't rob him. That's every celebrity. That's every celebrity in the industry.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a celebrity out here, smart as they are, that never have been tricked by somebody else in this game, or somebody around him, or having been stole from by somebody stole from them by somebody close to them. So his story is no different than anybody else's story. Now let's talk about what you did, what you like. You like children. That's a fact.
Yep.
You don't have your children. That's a fact.
Yes.
We're talking about deadbeat parents all over America. But how do we keep skipping over this with R. Kelly? But all these people want to free him. How many of them platforms speak about that man's kids? How many of them do they even care about that man's kids? You know why they don't? Because they don't want to have that conversation.
Yeah. It never comes up. I've never heard them.
And you know why?
Yeah, it don't come up.
Because Bianca straightened a whole lot of them out when they tried to do that birthday mess and got his dummy to sing happy birthday to her, knowing that was a violation, and she didn't want nothing to do with him and told me she was looking, don't ever even call her his child. This young lady don't want nothing to do with him. And they don't think nothing's wrong with this. But then you got all these ignorant people telling me, leave her alone, she good. If your own children ain't good, then how the hell could my daughter be good?
Exactly.
It makes no sense to me.
Ugh.
If he was reaching out and Greenberg as a lawyer and a person who I'm telling you what I know what they look for, they don't look for your goddamn fan base if you're a celebrity. They already expect that. You know what they look for? How much true, real support you have. And you know what that is? Your goddamn siblings, your goddamn seeds, your goddamn mother, father, people who had to grow up right there with you. Everything else, they ain't looking at that shit. They run around. You have to be 10,000 of y'all sharp at every corner. You know what they're gonna do? They're gonna rearrange how they had arrangements with their dad or the hers, and they're gonna make sure that 9,990 of y'all don't get across the street. That's what they're gonna do. They don't kill.
Or in his case, the 15 of them. Because let's make no mistake, when it comes to like actually showing up, he has very few actual supporters. And if we could go back for a second and talk about his kids, the P-Hive was really riled up and talking about them when it came to the child support, because it was all about, well, isn't she grown?
Right.
So anything that was not in full support of R. Kelly, they were against.
Yeah.
Because it was like, why did she have to pay for her college? They don't even understand how a divorce works, because that can be a part of a divorce. You do need to pay in some states up to when the child is 21. So just because because Drea was owed money, then they were throwing his kids under the bus. And when the girl was on, what is that show with the Growing Up Hip Hop, they were throwing her under the bus then. Anything that goes against R. Kelly, they do have a huge problem with. They are sick.
Yes. They have it, they not his kids. Some of them not his kids. This and that. All this. But this is what they don't understand. How can you support a man and dog his children? See, nobody looks at that until somebody wound up taking a life. Something happened, tragedy, falls apart. Now everybody wants to shut the fuck up, change their channel, erase, delete shit, this and that. No, you should not, as an adult, get this caught up where you're not mindful. That's a child. His daughter and my daughter is the same exact age. You hear me? Same exact age. That young lady, I watch her from afar, and I see it. And I try to get my daughter to understand this. A father is not going to sit there and badmouth his children and blame everything on his baby mother just to impress the woman he with. That's a weak-ass man, no matter who you are. You don't downplay things that's reality in your life to impress somebody else or make them feel more comfortable, especially when it's your child. Like, I'm going to tell you the biggest humiliation, and you talk about something that's probably about 40 million views, but no, not 40 million, maybe about good 8 million views. And that's my daughter sitting on live TV worldwide and saying, my mother and father sold me to God. Oh, my father made me, mother and father made me take naked pictures in front of R. Kelly. That don't even make sense to me. Because if that happened, trust me, we the been locked up right with him. They got him, they got all of us. You can't sit there and lie. You can say anything out your mouth, but then you got some of the reality. Well, why the person is fucked up? Why the people are trying to pursue them and need them? See, they gave us, they got all phone transactions, email, every transaction out of my account. The chauffeur shit never went. When they got a thing called technology. It worked in the 90s for him when he could lie because we didn't have this advanced technology. You can grab an iPhone from a day one and get every goddamn text message, every call, everything. So guess what? All the stories didn't add up to Angelo Clary. The text messages got two-way, and you had to look at Angelo text messages and Alice text messages. So now it paints a different picture. You can't lie. You can't make up shit. These people ain't failing at what they do. They just sit back waiting for more concrete shit to land on their head. No, now. So when you're faced with that type of humiliation, and as a parent, most people would have cut them off. You know how many people called me and was like, yo, cut the off. I wouldn't deal with her no more, blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
But guess what? I know my child. I know it really ripped her apart to try and have to go through something like that to humiliate her. And I understood why, because she felt though she was fighting, she had to fight, she had to do this. But that ain't stopped the humiliation for us. We just had to put love for our child over the humiliation from people that we didn't know. Most people get caught up and they gonna worry about what people say. When I tell you I'm built for this shit, this ain't nothing new to me. This ain't nothing. They even talk about me since I came out the womb. This shit ain't nothing to me.
Angelo.
And this is why I'm the one that's fighting. Yeah.
Larry's saying you need to go to the airport. That's what I'm being told in the chat. I just want to make sure you don't miss your flight.
Tell him he could have texted me.
He must be listening.
Tell him all right. And so what I'm telling y'all is anything y'all need, you can go through Gardens, go through Grown Man Show. That's my family. That he I don't like all his tactics because he get caught up and it's emotionally connected for him, and that's what people don't understand. When you're emotionally connected to somebody, and this is a family thing, it hurts worse. So his reaction is uncontrolled. My brother's reaction is uncontrolled. My kid's reaction is going to be all different because we emotionally are tied to this that people don't see. It's more than words to us. You humiliate somebody in our family. You're saying something out of order in our family. I don't disrespect that man. I don't disrespect his kids. As much as people don't understand that he has kids, I could have been going at this thing a whole ignorant way than him. You understand what I'm saying? His daughter went to Miami. I could have been humiliating her all through there, this and that. That's a child. She don't deserve that.
Right.
But he needs to be accountable for all the shit that he's doing. And we not holding him accountable.
Well, that's where we're at. I was saying that's where we're at now. That's where we're at.
Exactly. And that's why I said I have major respect for you and major respect for the followers here. Even if y'all got a fucked up question for me, ask it. Because believe me, she'll text me, I'll get on, and I will answer because it's not a problem with me. I don't have shit to hide. But you know what they do? They got a lot of shit to hide. Mm-hmm. They got a lot of shit to hide. Anytime they really running around believing that this man's rights has been violated. Like, this is the stupidest shit I ever heard. Like, what rights has been violated?
Right.
This man filed motions that are fucking somebody straight out of college or somebody just passed the bar with file.
Right.
And they mad at everybody because he's still in jail. You're still dealing with two young ladies that's a part of the case. Instead of separate yourself and let them visit you from a different part of the world and if people can see that's their option. No, you want to still keep the same lifestyle going and want everybody to look at you different. Mm-hmm. Your lawyer not on there making a plea to a father who's talking about, he say he's fighting for his life, right? So wouldn't you be wanting to fight for your life with your kids right there? Because my lawyer would be pleading for my children to come visit me. That's who I need to see.
Exactly.
That's the first people I need to see, to explain to them, to cry to them, and let them know that, hold on, Daddy had a problem, or Daddy had this. You got to explain to so many people that pulled the love, or you pulled the love, but they keep saying he got this big heart. He got this. How in the hell he got all this, and yet he ain't explained nothing to nobody yet. He ain't even explained it to his children.
Right.
People gotta come better than what the fuck they coming with and start following this hype for views. We ain't gonna give them no more play on the other side. My attention strictly, I don't go on their page. No. I went on Facebook because somebody was texting me and just telling me in the comment. And I gave phasing them something they really didn't want to hear.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of fucked them all up.
I saw that.
One thing about Team Truth, Angelo don't have to lie. And if I tell you I hold the key to a whole lot of these motherfuckers that's running around lying and playing the role and this and that, trying to twist my truth, I can face mine. Because everything I ever did from day one, can't nobody tell you it was no different from the day they met me to right now. And that's fighting for my daughter to get the fuck out of this situation. I can't tell her not to love him. I can't tell her not to support him. But what I can do is guide her with enough love that she can know that she can find someone else after this. That's what I want my daughter to understand.
Absolutely. And that's what it's all about.
Stop.
Yep.
It don't stop because R. Kelly locked up. It don't stop if he has to do 20 years, 30 years, 10 years. Whatever decision my daughter wants, I want her to understand that she is beautiful, she's smart, she's talented, she's independent, she's making a point to show me she can make it, and I'm not at war with my daughter. I love my daughter to death. I see her face, and trust me, man, the splitting image of her mom and me, and as well as my son. Them two look damn near like twins. So I can't do nothing with them but be mad for a second, and because it's me. It's one part of my attitude or my personality that they holding, and that's what they keen on. That's all my children. So I accept that. But what I want her to understand, that all these supporters out here that's on our side, we want them to best for her. We want her to be loved. We want her to love. We want her to find her career. We want her to do whatever she want to do and be happy.
Right.
But she can live without being under somebody's web and being controlled to what she can do and what she can't do. That's my problem with this shit. That's my problem with this shit, as her being a 21-year-old woman right now. And my problem before that will never change, that a man, a grown-ass man, violated my 17-year-old child. Period.
Right.
Period. She can take up for him. She can say whatever. I know the truth. And that's my truth that I'm going to stand, because I know it.
Well, we support you.
I
was just saying we support you in that.
So that's all I want to tell you, like with everything that y'all doing, it's appreciated. So if y'all want the truth, I'll keep banging the truth. Because I'm telling you, man, you talked about it. I know I shook their world last night. I know I shook their world. Because they thought they was getting something. You see, Don Russell got on there, and he was clearly in there. He saw me say things about him. Guess what? He never mentioned me in a negative way besides, oh, this and that. Y'all don't get the hype up. Because I know a whole lot of their secrets. And when I tell you I'll protect my child, I might not be living in Chicago, but I do the means to make sure my child is safe. I do the means. So all that shit, all them talking, they can have whatever they want with each other. But when y'all want the truth right here. Truth right here.
And right here, you're in the right place for the truth. Period.
That's it. That's it. So, you know, over there, I just wanted to bless y'all with that. I ain't want to take over your channel. I just wanted to let you know that I do appreciate that. Y'all don't know this very therapeutic for me and for my family, you know, and we appreciate it. But I wanted everybody to know that as real, enjoy. They okay.
Thank you.
You know, they really okay. They, you know, we know they not 100% where we want them to be, but physically they're okay. Because you know why? We know ain't nothing harmful happening to them right now.
Right, okay.
And they can make their own decisions right now. To a certain degree. Let's say that. But, you know, it's all their choice to follow the rules or to wake up and say, hell with these rules. I'm going to get my family and I'm going back this way and get myself together. And that's fine, too. That's fine, too.
Okay.
I know for a fact I'm going to hug my child and I'm going to embrace it and I want it. The difference with him, he had all the opportunity in the world, resources, and finance to hug all his children. He blew that. He blew that opportunity. He ain't got nobody to blame but himself.
Right.
Coming out of child support, first thing I would have did was went to my children.
Mm-hmm.
So people want to feel sorry for this man. They want to play all these dumbass games and this and that. Stop it, man. This man growner than half the people that's following him and growner than half the people that's taking up for him. So stop it. Stop it. Let this man do what he needs to do and come with his truth. But in the end of this, all of them going to get the surprise they want.
Oh, yeah.
Guarantee you, because it ain't going to go the way everybody think with him. And all the ones that's around there that's loud, smoky shit, they going to really get to see how many motherfuckers that really got set down by them people. How many told their truth.
Oh, they're going to see.
Out here.
Yeah. Wake up.
On the internet.
Wake up calls for everyone, for sure.
You know, so I ain't want to take up. So any questions for me while I'm here?
Anybody have any
looking at the what you call I'm on my earpiece.
on the chat?
Moving around the house.
Anybody have any questions for Mr. Clary while he's on the line? Even though Larry said you have a plane, I hope you don't want to be late for your flight.
No, I ain't. Trust me.
This guy is always on the go. This guy is busy. He's moving.
Man,
he's shaking.
Y'all know one King Truth. It's a woman. I want to say this. Y'all go to my IG, King Truth 1000. It's a young lady on there. It's a young queen. And I'm gonna tell y'all, man, her name is Tia. When I tell y'all, whenever y'all have the pleasure to hear this young lady's story, I made sure what I put on there had to do with her now as an adult, as an adult, and not some of the trauma she went through as a child. But when I tell you, I have the utmost respect, and I had my son Amani and my other son, Angelo, my oldest son, Angelo, with me, and they had experienced something that they never saw. And I'm going to give you Charm in to tell y'all how deep y'all's stories and powerful y'all's stories are. My son, my oldest son, has 2 daughters. And when he first looked at this young lady in his mind, if he wasn't, in a deep relationship, he was like, man, I see her, she's bad, boom, boom. First thing I want to do is like, Dad, how do I get her all night with me? Like any young cat would do or say at that age.
Mm-hmm.
After we finished, my son pulled me out in the hallway. We walked, made some tea. He said, Dad, I don't know what just happened in that. But man, as she was telling the story, all I could think about was my daughters.
Mm-hmm.
All I could think about was all the women in my life and how I just wanted to go up to this woman, apologize to her, and just give her a hug. I ain't never heard nobody go through that much stuff openly in front of people like this and ready to change the world by her story. So when you talk about 2 different generations right now, which one almost pushing 30 and one 20-something, early 20s, so 23. So now you're talking, your story is so valuable that I'm telling y'all, if y'all give me the opportunity to bring y'all to this community, this King Truth community, you won't regret it. 2020, we will shake the world with a lot of truth that need to be heard. I understand this. Y'all can shy away, stay away, talk people out of it. But this is what I'm telling you. As long as y'all scared to face it, it won't change. Change starts with y'all. And that won't go for the females. That go for the kings, the queens, anybody that was molested and mistreated, sexually assaulted, or any of them type of realms that needed to hold a secret for somebody while their career went on their way, their life continued happy and joy, and you had to be stuck with the secret. Because with that secret comes guilt. Because if you do anybody behind you, you're going to feel that guilt. You're going to feel that pain. And you're going to become the same one we point the finger at with all these people that shoulda, woulda, spoke up before that. We don't know how deep they were scarred. And that's something I had to learn. Some people don't speak right up because we don't know how deep the wound is. So when they do speak up, we can only embrace them, support them, and give them the strength to come clean. And I know it's going to rip up some families, it's going to hurt some families, but guess what? We got to think of how many people we're allowing the motherfucker to hurt in our family. Are keeping their secret. It's time, women. It's time, all the men. It's time to step from us being regular men and women and come to the king and queens that we are. And when kings and queens, we protect each other. It don't have to be ours. As long as they look like yours, remind you of yours, then you need to protect that person. And I'm quite sure everybody on this platform won't let a child get pulled away from the playground, kicked and screaming without yelling, fighting, or attacking.
Right.
But we know some of them other people on the other side, they will. Because they right now turning their back on somebody kicking and screaming right now.
Exactly. Yep.
And that's the only example we need. And that's the difference between people calling themselves a man, a woman, and a king and a queen. We protect.
Yes, absolutely. Well, thank you so much for coming on.
No problem.
You know, that's a blessing. And, you know, this is not the last of it. So you have safe travels and be safe out there in those streets.
Yes.
We got prayers up for
know.
Angelo. Give Angelo some hearts. We need some love for Angelo and his Team
I
Truth.
appreciate it.
Team Truth, you guys, get your t-shirts, go on his website.
Yes.
I'll put the information in the description afterward. But he's on IG. What is your IG? Team Truth 1000?
Team Truth 1000 or my personal, both of them on there to lead you to the other one. Just come on over and we got you.
Yeah.
Don't worry about the shirts. Donate. You can donate. We give the shirts complimentary if anybody donate $25 or more.
There you go.
If you want personally to buy the shirts, you can buy the shirts. But ours is real deal. You know, you see my ace right now telling me jump on a plane. It ain't cheap and we ain't bagging. We good. We're
Right.
gonna get it done regardless.
Okay. Well, you got
get
support.
It done regardless.
You heard them, you guys. You know where to go. Team Truth. And go Team Truth 1000 on IG. You got Grown Man Show on YouTube. Make sure you support him. He needs to get to his 1,000 subscribers so he can start going live. I don't want him to give up. I hear him complaining about the journey.
He too engaged. Don't worry about that. That's him blowing steam.
Grown Man Show on YouTube and Team Truth 2.0 on IG. You guys make sure you follow. Get on Twitter also. I'm Goddess Dawn #3. And, you know, find me. You'll find everybody Team Truth. Just follow who I follow. All right, cool.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.
Great night. Safe
You
weekend.
too.
And everybody on Team Truth, have a drink for the family.
Yes.
Everybody toast up for the family. Don't have to be alcohol to be juice.
That's
but
right.
Every time you drink, know that you're supporting somebody, and we ready to bring change.
There it
Thank
is.
y'all.
Thank you. Peace.
Bye-bye.
Team Truth.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Oh, I just hung up on Nia. All right, you guys heard it. That was Angelo Clary on the line. Team Truth. I'm calling Nia back. Sorry, Nia, I hung up on you on accident. she's gonna ignore me now. But everything he said was 100. Girl, if you don't pick up this phone, well, call me back. You know the number. All right, y'all. Well, we going on 2 hours. I think we might have to call it a night at this point. I wanted Nia to be on the line so she could speak her piece. I know there was something she wanted to talk about also real quick, but maybe we'll have to do that on another live. But Nia, if you're listening, you are clear to call if you like. Also, Diva, if you want to say something final, feel free. With that being said, I think we're just going to end it here. I had some more stuff to talk about as far as the court stuff, but I'm sure. Oh, I hung up on you 40 minutes ago? I didn't actually, but okay. I'm sorry. But like I said, it's open. I don't think people typically don't listen to long 2-3 hour recordings from what I get as far as views go. But as I'm gonna tell you this though, if you want to judge my views, just know that the shares that I get are really extraordinary. And I would say, you know, for every 1,000 views, I probably have at least 500 shares. So once the video is shared, I don't have track of the number, but I know that the messages are getting out there, and there are people who, whether or not, you know, maybe they don't want to subscribe or like or whatever, they want to stay incog, but they want to share the message. So for that, I just want to say thank you for everybody who's listening, for everybody who's on the same page, for everybody who's Team Truth, and hashtag mute R. Kelly, hashtag times up R. Kelly, hashtag convict R. Kelly 2020. And we just want to make sure that the truth is the narrative that is rock steady while we're out here in these YouTube streets and any other streets that we're finding ourselves in, where people are spinning false narratives about the situation, such as people like Dana J, such as people like Kevin Terrell, even Hollywood Next. As much as I respect her game, her wanting to free R. Kelly is just a no, because he does not need to be out and be able to terrorize young girls and women any longer. And everybody else, you know, I don't want to name everybody, but everybody knows who's on YouTube or in any other platform who is supporting R. Kelly and spinning false narratives and denying the truth because they don't want to believe it. But whether they believe it or not, the man is in jail. He's got 41 indictments on the table. We got state and 2 federal cases. He has 2 trials set for next year, April and May. And there's a lot of numbers, time on the table for him. If he doesn't make a plea, even if he does plea, he's probably going to be an old guy by the time he does come out. I don't put it past him to be manipulating people as we speak and doing things behind the scenes, but all of that is better than him being out and free, even on house arrest, with the freedom and the ability to manipulate, coerce, you know, rape, all the stuff he does. And his witch doctor or witch doctors, whoever they might be, there's only so much they can do once the decision has been made from the higher powers to dead something. And I think he's been deaded at this point. So, Miss Kim, with all those lovely hearts. Yes. Thank you, Angelo, again. Larry, thank you guys so much for checking in tonight. Thank you, Mocha Goddess. I'm sorry. I done renamed you, the Mocha Duchess. Thank you for your support tonight. And Miss Kim and Diva, of course, Nia, Marie, Jody. I appreciate you, soldiers. You guys, I see you guys all the time. I don't know if Truth Seeker, she's probably already passed out by now, but she'll be here on the replay. I apologize for the technical difficulties earlier. Like I said, I blame Streamlabs. Don't use them if you want to go ahead and start your own channel, which I do encourage. So with that being said, Nia Marie is up next with her channel. Hopefully, we're trying to help her figure out that situation, but she's going to be up. And yeah, You guys enjoy the rest of your weekend, and catch me on the replay if you missed some of this. Thanks to Angelo for blessing the live. And we out. Till next time. Peace. Love y'all.